Greetings, everybody, and happy Wednesday. Welcome to another Lazerbolt flight here. I'm your host, Lazerbolt. Tonight we are making the journey from a little island here at the south of Australia, and we are going to fly over to New Zealand. We're going to end up at the southern tip of it here. Little place called Invercargill, something like that. Not sure how to pronounce that, but that's where we're going to be. It's a little bit of like a bonus episode. We usually fly on Fridays, so this is unusual for us for sure. Um, it's going to be just under 3 hours. We're going to climb up to 25,000 feet, a very high altitude for what we normally do. That should give us a good ground speed. So yeah, guys, count on that. We're going to be climbing to 25,000. We're going to try to maintain 220 knots indicated. That should get us there. And should be fun. I've got it all set up right now where I'm sitting. It's very early in the morning. It's probably 6 a.m. The sun is just coming up around here, and it should make a beautiful flight while the sun comes up. And yeah, didn't want to do this on the main Friday show because we're just going to be almost 3 hours just flying over water. There's not a whole lot to see, but yeah, we'll just sit back and relax and enjoy maybe a cocktail and a snack, and we'll shoot the shit for a while, and it should be a good time. Glad to see a few people here joined us. We got Compass Coast and Mr. Newbie and Wingnut Bob back there. So yeah, got a nice group of pilots with us. Should be a good time. I appreciate anybody who's watching the stream. That's always appreciated around here. And how's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Good. Like hearing that. When we take off out of here, we're going to take a right-hand turn. Turn to the right to a heading of 095. 095 will get us on course. Climb to 25,000 feet. Like I said, at 25,000 feet, we're going to do pretty good by maintaining 220 indicated. We can do a little faster than that, but I thought I'd pick 220 knots just so we can all stay together. If we're all flying up in the air, we might as well try to bunch up and stay together and have something to look at. We will be taking off in just over 2 minutes. Make your final preparations, and we'll be ready to go. Gotta check my flaps here. Yeah, this is a little unusual flying on a Wednesday. It kind of took me a little to get used to. Plus, we're an hour earlier than we usually are. I was kind of hoping our buddy Longhorn would join. He said he was actually looking forward to it. I'm not sure that he realized that it's going on today. Pretty sure fuel won't be an issue. I've got my standard load out of fuel here, about 31,000 pounds. I could probably get a little better speed if I dropped a little fuel, but that'll be good. We'll just leave it at 31,000. I'm not going to need all of that. And we are going to be out of here in 1 minute. 1 minute. So I'm thinking next week when we get to New Zealand, we're going to be flying around that Baron, the G58 Beechcraft twin-engine Baron. That'll
Nice.
yeah, I like that aircraft. It's nice to fly, and they did a good job. And it's a default aircraft, and it's slow enough to where we can actually check out some sights. There's some pretty cool things to see in Queenstown, and I'm going to be enjoying that. We'll see, we have 913 miles to go. That's a doozy. I don't think I've forgotten anything, so yeah, we got a long haul ahead of us. Okay, pilots, it is 10 after the hour. Let's go ahead and get these birds up in the air. Reminder, 25,000 feet, take a right-hand turn to a heading of 095. Lazerbolt is rolling. I do get some mild prop vortexes going on. I don't know what it is. Last week I didn't see him at all, but this week I see him just a little bit as I'm taking off and stuff.
This wake turbulence is a killer.
Chucking everybody around back there.
Hello. I'm a little behind.
Hey,
But right now when I can.
Travis, good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you.
Yeah, we are literally just lifting off right now. We got about a 3-hour trip. If you got time to join us, that'd be great.
Yeah. I'll be just a little bit, but I'm reinstalling my C-130. I reinstalled the sim, and it seemed to fix the problem that was happening on a completely separate aircraft as well.
Oh, really? That weird, your rudder pedals were acting up?
Not that, but the stuttering thing I was having.
Oh, okay.
But I haven't tried the other stuff, so maybe it's all done. Maybe it's all fixed.
Well, hopefully that all works out pretty good. All right, turning to heading of 095, climbing to 25,000. We have a guy in the chat called Father's Game 2. He says, "Good luck. This plane's up. This plane ends up degrading my sim frames per second." Yeah, that is true. If you're in that Blackbird Dirty 30, it's a bit of a frame hog. That is for sure. He said he did a 5-hour flight and was barely able to land at the last leg. Yeah, I haven't seen anything like that where it continually builds up. But it definitely is a frame hog, for sure. Especially in multiplayer, when you get a number of them together, it just kind of compounds the problem. It gets pretty frame ratey.
Oh, man down. I was playing around on my computer and hit the ground.
Oh no, you're trying to figure out something on your flight computer?
Yeah, that's all right. I'll catch up to you.
Oh, we got a long ways to go. That airplane there has a little bit of wiggle room too. You should catch us pretty easy. Alrighty, I'm gonna go ahead and latch onto that flight path. We'll be good to go. Beautiful early morning here. Not sure what this little island is here to the very south of Australia. This isn't Tasmania, is it?
A part of Tasmania, from what I saw.
Oh, okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
They call the people from Tasmania Tasmaniacs.
Only the crazy ones. Climbing up through the cloud layer here. It's always nice to be up above the clouds. That's a cool visual. Yeah, I wondered if Longhorn might be able to make it tonight because he often works pretty late. I wasn't sure if that'd be a problem or not. I've latched onto the flight path and we are on the way. So I'm flying about 330 knots indicated right now until we get up to altitude and do our cruise. Bring her down to about 220. So that should give us about a 330 ground speed. Will get us there on time. Just a beautiful early morning here. Climbing through 16,500 for 25,000.
15. Eagles 15.
Yeah, it's not very often we're actually high enough to start using flight levels.
Want to see the beautiful Earth?
So it's only Wednesday, but how's everybody's week going so far?
Didn't rain today. Good. Good. Good.
Yeah,
Very going good.
same here. Can't complain. It ain't raining, but it's still like 42 degrees. A little bit on the chilly side.
So who's going to go see the movie?
Which movie? The Mandalorian movie?
Mandalorian movie. Yeah.
Oh, well, of course you know I'm going to that. Of course, no doubt. That's coming out on the 22nd. That's like next week, I believe. Next Friday. Yeah, looking forward to that. Should be pretty cool. Big fan of The Mandalorian. Matter of fact,
You
anyone
going to
who's
what?
seen my Star Wars videos know that I have a full suit of Mandalorian armor from head to toe. And yeah, I'm going to wear that. I'm going to wear my Mandalorian armor to the movie theater. Should be a good time.
Oh.
At least it's comfortable.
You got a Grogu?
I do have a Grogu. I have a little pouch that he can hang out in, and yeah.
You get to buy
Sure,
two
it's-
tickets or one?
It's pretty nerdy. Hopefully they'll let me get away with just one ticket. I mean,
A
he
kid's-
is 50 something years old, so he's not young enough for the kids ticket. But, yeah,
Yeah, but he comes under the height level.
definitely. Yeah, it's dorky, but whatever. I love it. I know what I like, and I like Star Wars. And I like making costumes. So, there you go. It's a perfect match. My plan is, I've done this before, like for the final episode of the Star Wars saga, episode 9 there, The Rise of Skywalker, I wore my X-Wing pilot outfit to the theater. And when I got up to the ticket lady, I asked for a ticket to a different movie, like, I don't know, like Sophie's Choice or something. And she almost sold it to me. She didn't get the joke at all. It's like, geez, lady, come on. Work with me here. Whatever happened to yes and, you know? It's like, geez, seriously, I'm going to wear an X-Wing pilot's outfit to go watch Sophie's Choice? And she almost sold it to me. I had to stop her because I wasn't sure if she would make me go to that movie or not. But I'm
Now,
going
where
to
do
do
you
that
go-
again,
wh-
of course.
Where's your movie theater in your area? Good
Oh,
ones.
it's not too far. Our town's pretty small, so it's at the edge of town, maybe 5 miles away, 3 miles away. It's not very far.
Where they keep the riffraff.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any of those drive-in movies left? Drive-in movie theaters left in their area?
I got a drive-in movie theater about an hour away in Muskegon. Yeah, it's still open. Pretty neat. I don't go there as often as I should, but yeah, it's a good old time going to a drive-in theater.
I've been to one when I was a kid, but I don't know if that exists anymore, and I'm not sure if there's any around me that exist. I'm sure there's a couple in Florida, but
It's pretty cool nowadays. They changed it up. It's not like it used to be, where you'd pull up and you'd have this little wonky ass metal speaker that you would hang in your window, and you were glad to have it, and that's how you heard the movie. And you were lucky if your speaker worked. Nowadays you just go and they tell you to turn your radio to a certain station, and that's how you hear it. So I thought that was kind of cool. And the one that we have up in Muskegon is there's like 4 theaters there. It's a big four screen drive-in. So I've done it before where I went there and I wasn't enjoying the movie I was watching, so I just tuned my radio to the other movie and watched that. Alright, I am holding steady at 25,000. My indicated airspeed is slowly trying to creep up to 220 knots. Air's pretty thin up here, so it's working pretty hard to keep 220. Roughly 214 knots at the moment. It's going to hold at 220. We're already making pretty good time. I mean, look, geez, we've only got 865 to go. We started at 913, so we're making strides already. Get that ground speed going, and that's what really counts. Your indicated airspeed. You might feel like you're going extra slow because it's only 220 knots. My ground speed right now is 335, and that is good. Hey, Ghost. Got you up there.
23.
Yeah, I'm at 26.6.
Right on. That's close. I'm just glad I can see you. Yeah, we got Travis going over here. Good deal. He's in the air. Got Bob back up in the air. What'd you say you're flying tonight, Bob? You're not in the A400, are you?
No, she's 17.
The Globemaster. Okay.
Roger that.
'Cause that is a beast. That is a beast.
Wasn't the C-54 the original Glowmaster?
Way back in the day, it was like the biggest aircraft ever made, kind of a thing. I think so. I seem to remember like PR Dude used to fly that around. He loved it just because it was huge. Yep, I think I am going to enjoy this. Sometimes I like a big long haul where it's just hours. Just sit there enjoying the sights and sounds. Mostly the sounds. There's not much to see except water. Have a cocktail and a snack. I'm good to go. Watch that sun come up. Well, I don't have a pina colada like Bob's drinking. That just sounds pretty good. I do have a nice vodka and juice.
I'm gonna get me some gin and juice.
Oh, that sounds like a good idea.
Yes, sir.
Wow, boy, the time we get to New Zealand,
Why?
we'll be flying upside down and everything else, dumping our honey buckets out on the floor.
That'll be a great landing. Yeah, we used to take long 2-3 hour flights all the time, every week, as a matter of fact. And what we would do is we'd watch a show. We would watch a movie together or a TV series or something. We used to do that a lot. Where, I mean, you know, we don't really need to pay too much attention. The autopilot's taking care of everything. So we'd have plenty of time to watch a good movie. As fun as that was, I think it drove a lot of people away from the flights. It was fun for a while, but it did it for too long. Well, what it was is, like I said, we've been doing this for about 14 or 15 years now, and there was a little time, there was about a year where I was just tired of making flight plans every week. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to pick 2 spots and we're going to fly, we're going to fly point to point, simple flight plan, and we're just going to watch a movie. There you go. Problem solved. No, it won't be easy to keep the group all together because we don't have too much wiggle room. On this Blackbird C-130, you might be able to maintain roughly, actually, come to think about it, I think I'm the only one in a Blackbird right now. But you can probably maintain 230, 235 at this altitude, and you should be able to catch up. I'm not sure what that the Captain Sim C-130 does. It's probably pretty similar.
Yeah, I'm about 220, 222 right now. And I can see about a mile ahead, a mile 28 ahead.
Mm-hmm. I wish there was an easy way to check your ground speed on that thing. I bet you got a pretty good ground speed happening.
Let's see.
Coaster, your gear down? Your flaps down? Get a nice little flyby from our buddy Coast. That'll definitely help the speeds if you had that going on.
I was at 30,000.
But doesn't seem to be having trouble with speed, that's for sure. I always love how it looks being up here above the clouds. It's just pretty, especially when they're all lit up with that beautiful morning sun. I mean, I could just sit here, keep the camera in one place, and watch the sunrise. That would make for a kind of an interesting, like speeded up.
I'm doing about 305 knots, 430 ground speed, so I should be catching you pretty
Yeesh,
soon.
that shit'll catch you up in a hurry. Got 5 people watching the live stream. Hey everybody, glad you were able to join on the highly unusual Wednesday flight of our little group here. Now I'm thinking we're going to spend 2 weeks in New Zealand with the first flight, maybe 3 if we have to. The first flight will get us almost halfway through the entire, there's 2 islands composing of New Zealand. It'll get us almost through most of it. The second night should get us through the rest of it. And then about 2 weeks from now, we will have another Wednesday flight where we fly back from New Zealand to Australia. It'll be a slightly different route. We'll be landing and taking off from different airports. It'll probably be a little bit longer flight because this was like the shortest we could get.
Quick question.
Yes.
Given that there's a New Zealand, is there an Old Zealand?
Gosh, maybe in Europe somewhere? That's usually what happens when they call something new, you know?
Travis, where are you?
I don't know.
I do like the fact that it's 8:30 at night here and it's still not dark. That's great. It means summer's on the way. The best we get in midsummer is like it starts getting dark around 10. That's when the longest days we have around here. And that's pretty good, but don't get dark till 10.
You're just a shade north of me, and we go about 9:30.
Yep. Yeah, it's one of those things like in the summertime, the farther north you are, the longer your days are. If you're far enough north, you would have a 24-hour day.
Not me. I nap a lot.
I've been there.
Me too.
I was in summertime. I was in Denmark, so.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Northern part of Denmark, yeah.
Oof.
It got late. It got late about 11:30.
That would be weird. Yeah, it'd be weird like living up in Alaska. That would be, gosh, for like a month it would be hard to get used to, you know, where it's like you barely have any nighttime. Although that would be way better than in the wintertime where you barely have any sunshine. That would get old in a hurry. I mean, just make sure that you wake up in time to catch that hours-long sun, you know, and go back to bed.
Oh, I just looked behind me. Travis is airborne, 72 miles back.
Nice. Join us, Travis.
Do not have any name tags yet, but maybe its settings are messed up.
Yeah, here's
Oh,
Bob. Whoop,
I
he's
see you.
coming up in a hurry. He's about ready to zip past.
Oh, shoot. I got to look forward. Got to turn my head back around.
I like that bird you're in, though. It's pretty nice. That reminds me of an A400, but it has jet engines instead.
I actually like the C5 better than the A400.
Yeah?
And my dial went from airspeed to, it says 0.6 Mach.
Oh. When it starts telling you your airspeed in Mach, you're doing something right.
Oh, boy, yeah.
Travis, remember, what do you mock of that? Never mind.
Are you mocking me?
There's a bird for that.
Oh, so the turtle, huh?
That's C-17. That's the one that it used to be somebody made it and they were giving it away for free, and now it's an actual in-game aircraft that they give you. Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. Nice
Oh,
bird.
the good thing is everybody's got it, so or pretty much they didn't because it was free.
Right, and
Yeah.
whether you like to fly it or not, you can still see it, so that's nice. Yeah, that's one of the reasons for next week we're going to be flying that Twin Baron. For one, it's a nice airplane, and it looks pretty cool, and it's great for sightseeing. You got a good turn radius on that thing, but it's default, and everybody has it, and everybody can see it. Yeah, next week's speeds are going to be right around the neighborhood of like 140 knots. So there are a lot of aircraft that'll fit into that speed range. Like I said, it's always nice when people use default aircraft so everybody can see them. And there's a lot of those too. I was considering using something else like maybe the Diamond. That's a really nice airplane. We used to fly that a bit. And that 404 Titan, that's a real nice one too. But let's just go back to that. Let's go back to that Twin Baron. All right, we've already flown over 100 miles in about 30 minutes. Good deal. It appears when we get to Invercargill, we are going to be coming in at runway 30. Let's make sure here. Oh, it's Invercargill. It's a strange name.
I think runway 30 would be on the other side of the runway. We'll have to do a
Yeah.
left or right circuit.
Well, they'd be coming in ish from the south, sort of ish, I suppose. Let's see here. I'm not sure that that's the best runway. No, that's a grass runway. We're not landing on that.
Might hit some sheep.
Right now, it's showing 04 for me. You reroll or how you doing? Yeah. Clear skies?
Yeah, let's see here. Runway 4 might be the best choice around here. It's a long runway. We're looking at 7,200 feet of asphalt. And it is the straightest in of them all. So yeah, we'll count on doing that when we get there, runway 4. I'm not sure I fully heard your question, Mr. Newbie.
No, I was asking if you're using real world or did you do a few clouds?
Yeah, I did few clouds again.
Few clouds, okay.
Yeah, I don't know
Alright.
what the real world weather is like. Probably
Yeah,
up
real
here
world
it's
gives
okay.
me 04 as well.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, I'm in real world. Yeah.
So runway 4 should work for you.
Yeah.
Oh, good deal. Yeah, it's over 7,000 feet. It's a pretty big one.
PRY 1168.
So I started a big rewatch binge of Better Call Saul. I was just looking for something to put on in the background and listen to and not have to worry about it for a while and just let it play. I figured, Better Call Saul's perfect. I've already seen it, so I don't have to pay too much attention. And yeah, found myself totally paying attention to it because it's great. It's what a good show. I'm enjoying it more the second time through. I feel like the first time through watching that, I was spending so much time comparing it to to Breaking Bad, and yeah, you know, I mean, and almost like comparing it like it's not quite as exciting or cool as Breaking Bad, you know. There's not as many people breaking quite as bad, you know what I mean? It's a little tamer, but in the second watch through, I'm realizing that no, not at all. Actually, Better Call Saul has a lot of good tense stuff going on, and a lot of people breaking bad, real bad. And yeah, it's a fun rewatch. I'm enjoying that. And it's weird too how some of the characters, mainly his buddy Howard Hamlin, the guy that's like part of his law firm or whatever, or his family's law firm. He's not involved with it anymore. But yeah, and the first watch through, I just kept thinking that these guys were the bad guys. You know, they frame them that way. You know, these are the people that are giving them all the pushback, and the guy's kind of an arrogant jerk, and you just don't like him. But the second watch through, I like him the whole time. It's like, this guy's not that bad. You know, if you really pay attention to what this guy's doing, he's not doing anything all that bad. You know, he's actually got Jimmy's best interest at heart the whole time. You know, but the first watch through, like I said, they frame it like he's the guy, he's the big thorn in the side that's causing all the problems. But when you really watch it, pay attention, it's like, no, he's got his head on straight, and he's actually doing a lot of good stuff, you know. He's not quite an asshole, you know. Captain Hopper saying we're doing the hump day hop. I dig it too, buddy. It's good to see you, Hop. How you doing? Yeah, kind of glad you're not streaming tonight. I didn't want to stream over the top of you. It's good to see you. It's very unusual for us to fly on a Wednesday. We used to fly on Thursdays all the time, but Thursdays and Fridays are usually our day. Anyway, my point is, if anybody's in the mood to watch Better Call Saul, do it. It's great. It's really, really good. Really good. Even the parts of it that are quote-unquote kind of slow and there's not much going on, it's still gripping. It's still such good writing and such good characters that you really care about a lot. And you wish the best for them. And even when they're doing things that you know they shouldn't be doing, you're still kind of rooting for them, you know. It's a good show. And Saul Goodman, the main guy in the show, is nowhere near as evil as Walter White. Heisenberg, by the end of that show, Heisenberg is just the worst kind of person, the absolute worst. And he takes a big turn, you know, big flip from when you're watching him, you know, watching it as it goes, and he gets worse and worse as the series goes along. Eventually it comes a point where it's like you kind of stop rooting for him. He's not good anymore. He's not doing all these things for the same reasons he started out doing. And he gets evil at the end. At the end of it, he is the bad guy. So it's an interesting watch from that respect too. But Better Call Saul's not quite like that. He's a likable dude. He's a rascal and a scoundrel and a liar and a cheat. But he's a really likable guy. You know, it makes for some great drama.
I never got a chance to watching it. I did watch Breaking Bad, and I said I was going to get into that one, but never got a chance to.
Yeah, did you like Breaking Bad?
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah, look, I talked to very few people who didn't like. I've talked to a lot of people who didn't watch it for reasons. Usually the reason is I don't think I'd like it. It doesn't look like something I would like. I said that for years. I missed the first couple seasons of it just because I was that way. I was like, that doesn't look like something I'd like. I'm not all into gangsters and guns and drugs and just, it's not my thing. And then I started watching it and I couldn't stop. It's like, this is the best shit I've ever seen. This is the best TV show I've ever seen. Ever. It's awesome. And Better Call Saul does a good job keeping that up. And it's not, they did a good job also not making the two shows be too similar. You know, Better Call Saul is not like Breaking Bad. It's a totally different concept. It just happens to have a lot of the same characters in it. But it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
I did not get into Breaking Bad. I watched the first episode or two and didn't really enjoy it.
Right. Yeah, you know, I can see where it might not be everybody's cup of tea. My dad didn't like it, but my dad's like 90. So I wasn't too surprised that my dad didn't get into it. But, you know, well, my dad's the kind of guy, he'd watch a show and, you know, he's very critical of everything. You know, like, that guy would never do that. He would already be in jail, you know. This person, this guy's ridiculous. He wouldn't make it 2 feet. He'd be caught already. You know, he's just very skeptical of everything. He picks everything apart. And sure, in anything you watch, it's easy to pick stuff apart, you know. But when you get into it, it's quite a great show. Quite a good show.
Yeah, for me, I didn't get into it till about the second season. Like I struggled during the first, but the second one is like it really took off for me.
Yeah, I think the first season ends with all that Tuco stuff, and it started getting real good when Tuco was involved, because it's like, oh my God, this guy is insane. There's going to be problems here. Yep, scary guy. You know, and that's kind of the cool thing about Better Call Saul, is it's not about that, but it kind of is, because you run into a lot of these people. I mean, you know, I mean, it ties a lot of loose ends together. You know, like at the beginning of Breaking Bad, and you first see Tuco, you learn that Tuco just recently got out of jail, and his jail mate was Skinny Pete. Skinny Pete went to jail with him, and yeah, of course, in Better Call Saul, they explain, how he goes to jail, and it's all very good. It's all very good. Of course, Gus comes back, and there's a lot of actually, Breaking or Better Call Saul is as much about Mike Ehrmantraut as it is about Saul himself. And Mike is just the best. He's another rotten scoundrel, but he's got a heart of gold and a good ethics. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For a thief and a murderer to have his head on that straight, you know what I mean? And he really is deep down a good guy, but that's how he makes his living, and he's got a code of ethics involved, and it really gets into his story a lot, and it's great.
Mhm.
We have already gone almost 200 miles, so we're doing good. Yeah, we're doing that runway 4. That should be pretty nice.
Yeah, I have to try to push through Breaking Bad again because I kind of heard more or less the same thing.
Yeah, that's
What are these shows on you guys are talking about? I've heard the names. I've never seen any of them.
they're originally on AMC, but right now you can watch them all on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's pretty good. Like I said, it might take you a minute to really get into Breaking Bad, but by the end of that first season, you're like, if you're still watching, you're going to keep watching because it gets so good.
Yeah.
I lost track of Travis's name tag around here. I think he's still back a little ways.
Yeah, I see his tag
There's
back there.
Coast. You got his tag back there?
74.9 miles.
All right, yeah, he's kind of blending in with the whiteness of it all. You got them fancy tags where they're different colors. I still need to do that.
You keep saying that.
It doesn't take much.
Remember.
It doesn't take anything to install that. You just pop it into a folder and you're done.
Yeah. Works very nice because you can edit, what you see if you just want the name, or if you want to name his aircraft, his altitude, his distance,
Right.
all that. You can edit
That'd
what
be-
you want to see and what you don't.
That would be great. Because a lot of this info I don't need. Like Mr. Newbie, I'm looking at his tag. All I need to know is what he's in and how high he is. Or actually, I don't even need to know how high he is. I just need to know how far away he is. And that's cool. And get rid of all the extra crap that's on the screen that you don't need. Look it up here. Our buddy James Holmes coming through again. He says he has to say Better Call Saul is amazing, but no DS9. I hear you there. DS9 is one of my favorites also. It's pretty good. I think Better Call Saul might have a wider appeal than DS9. More people will be into it. But yeah, I think out of all the Star Trek TV shows, DS9 has kind of made its way to the top for me. There's some of the best Star Trek I've ever seen in DS9. And thanks for the super chat there, buddy. I appreciate that, James. This is a little bit earlier for you, so yeah, you might be able to hang out for an extra 20 minutes. Cool. All that stuff with the Dominion War and the Klingon War in DS9, it's fabulous. That is just amazing stuff. Got Cheesy Poof KC. He says he's about ready to watch Breaking Bad once again. Yep, and hello right back to you. Yeah, you know, it was kind of a toss-up. Like I said, I was looking for something to throw on in the background and just kind of have going while I was working on stuff. Something that I had already seen, so I didn't have to pay too close attention. And it was a toss-up between Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. But for some reason, I just felt like watching Better Call Saul a little more. And yeah, it's I'm about in season 4 right now, and man, it's getting good. Now, Cheesy Poof KC, I know that name. We've seen him around here quite a bit. And why am I thinking that that's somebody that we know in the game, but he's got a different name? Am I right about that? He's Cheesy Poof on YouTube, but in the game he's got a different name, I think. Could be wrong about that.
Flying in nav mode or heading mode there, Laser?
I'm on nav. I'm following that pink line. It's such a long haul that pink line has a curve to it.
Yeah, I'm following that
Yeah.
line as well in nav mode, and it shows me right on it, but yet I drifted from before I was on your right wing, now I'm way on your left.
Oh, weird. Yeah, I just I inputted a straight in my Blackbird computer there. Just
Yeah.
a straight direct to from the one airport to the other. If you use the EFB to program, you know, if you pushed it out and sent it to the avionics, maybe it added like a landing procedure or something like that, which explains why we're not quite on the same path.
Well, no, it didn't. I looked
You
at that, and there's nothing there. My computer, onboard computer, it loaded it right to it. Unlike your Blackbird C-130, you have to manually put it in. This one
Right.
will do it. You can do it manually, or you can force it in. You know, when you send it to the avionics, and it puts it in there for you.
It's kind of nice when you can just do that.
Yeah,
We'll be able to do that again next week with those Barons. Matter of fact, it'll be easy to add waypoints for the Baron to follow. Take us right to different points of interest. Cheesy Poop says he doesn't stream. Yeah, I knew you didn't stream, but I thought maybe you flew with us in the air a time or two. Maybe not. I don't know what it is about Casey Poof or Cheesy Poof KC. You know what I'm thinking it is? I think for a long time I thought maybe Cheesy Poof KC. I thought that was Carl. You know Carl, don't you, Coast? I thought that was Carl because he's from Kansas City.
Yeah.
And I think what's
So
confusing me is
dog.
for a little while he had an avatar that was Cartman from South Park, so maybe that was confusing me.
You know who was my roommate back in the old days? Remember when we went to the air sim
You went to
conference?
the air
with
show,
Bob?
and that was in Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, and I had a room with Carl.
All right. I always got along with Carl.
Not my best
yeah.
time. Not my best time.
Right. I can see it. Like I said, I always got along with Carl, but it's because we never talked politics. We just let that slide. So we just got along instead because I don't think we see eye to eye on a lot of stuff. James Holmes talked in Breaking Bad was outstanding as well. Yes, it was, my man. There was a moment where Walter chucked a pizza on his roof. I remember that. It was great. One of the less impactful moments. Yeah, you know, it kind of was, but that's also an iconic moment. that people talk about that pizza on the roof all the time. You know, I mean, if you ever see a pizza on a roof, somebody's going to say, "Hey, it's like Breaking Bad." You know, a very memorable thing. And for like 2 episodes, it was still on the roof. You know, he never cleaned it off. He got mad and chucked an entire pizza on his roof. And yeah, great stuff. You know, what makes those shows so great too isn't just it's got great storytelling. The actors are all really good at what they're doing, but it's just everything about it. They're so well made. The cinematography is great, and just they take their time. You know what I mean? They'll have entire scenes where it's 5 minutes and it's just one camera, and it's just these two people sitting there talking in a dark room, and it's mesmerizing. You're gripped, you know? Love it. It's very, very artsy. I can see why both shows won tons of Academy Awards, because they're just so well made. Yeah, you read that. It's just one throw to get that pizza up on the roof. It was a perfect shot. It was absolutely perfect. He chucks it up on the roof, and the box opens, and the whole pizza comes out and lands on the roof. It's like, wow, he couldn't have done that more perfect. Perfectly in frame, you know, and it's like, yeah, that was a great shot. I'm sure when I saw that first time, I might have been thinking that, boy, they must have shot that 10 times before they got it right. But no, nailed it first try.
I was gonna say, how many pizzas did they waste doing that?
On a film set, they would waste 100 of them and not even think nothing of it. Actually, on a film set, it probably wouldn't even be a real pizza.
Every pizza that gets thrown up there is another sad person in the crew.
Yeah, yep. Especially if it's their favorite kind.
Thought we were having a pizza party today. We threw all the pizzas on the roof.
Oh, they had plenty of pizza when the shot was done. You pick your way through it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what kind of roof it was, but I don't like that extra grit in my pizza.
You don't like that from the tiles up there?
No, not really.
Yeah, everything's doing well here. Fuel check. I'm down to 27,000 gallons of fuel. Actually, pounds of fuel. Still plenty? Way plenty. Only used about 4,000 pounds.
C-17, man, that thing holds a lot of fuel. It said 21,700 in tank 1.
Oh, that's one tank.
in tank 2, and 31 in tank 3, and 21 in tank 4.
Yeesh. I can hold a lot
There's
more
a-
than what I'm holding right now, but a couple of my tanks are empty.
There's a ocean crosser.
Yeah, boy. Dang.
Okay, guys, here's a controversial take. Let's discuss this. Thoughts on pineapple on pizza? James wants to know. Pineapple on pizza, is that a big yes or a no? Everybody in the chat, chime in too. What do you think of that?
I like it, but I don't need to have it.
Yeah, it's the same with me. Sometimes yes, but sometimes no.
Yeah.
Got
Well, I
to
mean,
have that pepperoni.
If somebody has a pizza and it's got pineapple on it, I'll eat it and I'll like it. But I would never in a million years go to a restaurant and say put pineapple on my pizza. Nope.
No, I wouldn't either. I agree.
Yeah, nope.
Yeah.
But I mean, is
Especially
it
if it's a
terrible?
more authentic.
You know, is it terrible? No, it's not terrible. It's actually all right. You know, with some ham on there, it's okay. But yeah, you know.
You know, I would do onions and mushrooms before I would do pineapple.
Ooh. Alukeb says
Yeah,
it's okay. Cheesy Poof says pineapple always. All right, fair enough. Like I said, I don't hate it, but it wouldn't be my first choice. It's almost kind of getting away from pizza at that point.
I think it gives it like a little bit of a sweet taste to it, and just a unique. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I kind of grew up with it with my mom. She liked it, and I don't know why, but
Yeah, some people love it.
Yeah, I like it, and I just would never order it like if it wasn't on the menu or at a more authentic place that I know that they're really Italians there, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, my favorite pizza is a nice simple pepperoni, onions, some mushrooms maybe.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
Is that'd be
Exactly
yours?
what I like.
Your two, yeah, nice simple.
Yeah.
It's got everything, got all you need on there.
I'm not picky. I don't really care for cooked mushrooms that much. I tolerate them a lot better now than I used to, but yeah, if you make a pizza for me, I'll probably eat almost anything except don't really care for the fish stuff, but
Not too picky either. Probably the only thing I wouldn't be crazy about is anchovies. Never been big on
Yeah.
anchovies. Although, to
Yeah.
be fair, I don't like anchovies because I'm not a big fish eater. But at that point, they don't really taste like fish anymore. They're just kind of like crispy, salty things. I don't know. But I could do without the anchovies.
All I can say is,
Ew, indeed. That was a great Ernest P. Worrell reference there.
yeah, I think if I grew up with them, I'd probably not care as much, but
I'm
I
looking,
didn't, so.
looking at James Holmes' comment here. I hope he's kidding about this. I know James is from Scotland, but he says, right favorite toppings? Mine is haggis, black pudding, and onion. That's
What
not a
is
real
haggis?
thing, is it? That's not a real thing. You don't order that on your pizza, do you, buddy?
I'm not even sure what haggis is off the top of my head. I think that's a.
It's not
local-
good.
It's stomach.
It's like a sheep stomach or something gross. It's nasty, whatever it is.
Oh,
And black
yeah.
pudding isn't nothing to be too happy over either. No thanks.
again,
I
Yes,
was watching
ew.
something actually on that the other day. I just forgot what the name of it was, but yeah.
It's like everything
well,
on an English breakfast looks great except that black pudding, man. There's no thank you. All the rest of it looks okay, I suppose. Just looks like a breakfast. Don't know what the big deal is. Yeah, Cheesy Poof likes those mushrooms on there. I agree.
So you can't actually get haggis in the U.S. At least not without
At
doing
least-
it yourself.
That's a shame.
It's not.
Not legally.
Yeah,
Well, that
it's
right
not
there-
FDA approved.
That's why, you're never going to go to some fancy restaurant in the big city and it's a Scottish restaurant. there are no Scottish restaurants unless you're in Scotland. No offense, James, but it's true. It's the same thing with England. People are like, oh, I can't wait to go visit Great Britain and get some great food. And it's like, if you want to get some good food, go to Germany or something like that, I hate to say France. I wouldn't recommend anybody goes to France. But, go to Germany or Switzerland and get some good food. Freaking go to England. It's the same thing. It's like, that's why, when is the last time you went out to a fancy restaurant and it was a British restaurant where they serve British food? There's a reason for that. There's a big reason for that. There are no British restaurants around because nobody would go there.
You can find a good British fish and chips. There are some British.
Well, I mean,
restaurants.
you can find a pub. You can
How
find a
about
quote
Arctic
unquote
Treaters?
British pub, but
Yeah,
there's
they're
no
more
fine
related,
British
yeah.
cuisine. That fine British cuisine doesn't exist.
Okay, you forced me into this.
Okay, I forgot, Coast. Your
Uh-oh.
wife is British. Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Uh-oh. I hope she ain't listening.
she ain't listening. When her Uncle Mike was over here, and when I went over there, visited him, and he wanted me to drink Guinness. which I think is pretty good, by the way.
Yeah, I don't mind the Guinness.
But it's also warm. You know, nothing's cold over there.
Right, right. When I lived over there, that was definitely a thing I noticed.
And so I had to learn to drink Guinness. It didn't really go down for my
Well,
my delicate.
it enhances the flavor for sure.
Yeah.
I don't mind warm beer. Actually, it must be the German in me. I don't mind warm beer. I can remember my German opa, my grandpa, you know, I would say he would come home from work and he would have a 6-pack of beer and he would sit it on the furnace while he was drinking them, so they got even warmer. It's like, wow, okay. You know, I was just a kid. I didn't care, but it's like, woo wee, he likes his warm beer, doesn't he?
Being in Germany and Austria all the times, I never really got warm beer served to me anywhere that I really went. It wasn't ice cold like you'd expect here, but it was cold enough that I wasn't like, wow, that's a little bit warm or anything like that.
All right. It just kind of foams up extra. I don't know. I don't mind warm beer.
In England, they call it IPA. That's beer, India Pale Ale.
Yeah. Let's see, our buddy James Holmes says that haggis pizza is indeed a thing. Wow, You know, I guess haggis is like anything else. It's an acquired taste. You know, like in Germany, a big thing my mom used to cook when we lived there. It's a big thing in Germany, is oxtail soup. My mom made the best oxtail soup you ever had. It was just wonderful. It was the richest, darkest, yummy, thick soup, you know, full of meat and potatoes, and it was just a wonderful, hearty soup, just great, you know. And yes, it was made from oxtails, you know, not the butt and everything like that, but from the tail, you know. Whoop-de-doo, it's not that big a deal. You know, but you tell that to a lot of people around here, and they're just perplexed. They're like, "Oh man, how could you eat that? And gross! I would never in a million years." I'm like, I don't know. It's pretty good, and it's so good. It doesn't really require. It's not even an acquired taste. It's just good. You know what I mean? It's just delicious. If they called it anything but oxtail soup, people would eat it like crazy.
Well, it might sound weird, but when I was a kid growing up, my grandma used to make. Cook squirrel brains and pig brains.
Ooh, okay. No, that's a little much. But hey, that's exactly what I'm talking about, though. You know.
That's what Travis and I would call a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's what yeah.
And my mother was the one we had. Everybody when in the old days when I was a kid, which is a lot of old. That's a long time ago. Everybody, my mother and my aunts and all used to have their specialty. My mother's specialty was German potato salad.
Oh, yes.
Which she could make like better than anybody. German potato salad was in everything.
I've never seen a German potato salad in America. You know, you find potato salads where they call it a German potato salad, where it was anything near like what German potato salad really is. And when it's good, it is so good.
Well, remember, her mother was German, and both my grandmothers were actually real Germans, and so she was taught how to do that.
Producer Steve's asking, Wednesday, is this legal? Yeah, it's just a thing. We had a little positioning flight to go through, Steve. Just a long flight over the water. It's going to take about 3 hours. Figured, well, we can't do this on the main show on Friday. We'll do a little Wednesday extra edition going on. See, Cheesy Poof says he's in Middle Tennessee, and there's a British sign in his town, or British shop in his town, that has British souvenirs and British snacks. Neat.
Well, ask Cheesy Poof where, because I'm in Middle Tennessee.
Really? Yeah, Cheesy Poof. We're in Middle Tennessee. That's where Bob's from. And yeah, James, oxtail soup. I don't know if oxtail soup is German, but it's at least from that part of the world. My mom used to make it all the time when we lived in Germany. Because when you lived in Germany, it's real easy to find an oxtail. They sell it right in the store, you know. It was just delicious, absolutely delicious. And I'm not super experimental when it comes to food. But that's really good. You know, it's good if you give it a try. It's just meat, you know, just the meat from a tail.
I have to look for that next time I go.
James says,
I don't
have
think-
German Donner kebabs made it over there. So good. Donner kebabs. I don't think I've ever had that.
That's like a Turkish thing. I don't know what what he means by the German thing, but that's more like I think it's Turkish, but it's, you know, Eastern European.
Right. I mean, Donner is kind of a German word, but it means like thunder, you know, like the reindeer. Yeah, Bob. It says Cheesy Poof says Smyrna.
Okay, I know where that's at. Yeah. Yeah. I'm down here in Columbia. I'm sure he knows where I'm at too, but I've never heard of it over there. I don't go that direction too often, but if I'm in the area, I'll check around.
Yep. I have
other
seen
news tomorrow,
I have seen some videos on YouTube of people eating like some British snacks that look pretty good. One thing I would say for sure, I've never had British chocolate, but I bet it's way better than our chocolate. Way better. I'm used to German chocolate. I mean, if you want to have some good chocolate, go to Aldi's. You know, go to Aldi's and buy just like a chocolate bar there, and compare it to your average Hershey bar. And I like Hershey bars. I'm not being snobby. Hershey's fine, but you know, try a good European chocolate, and there's no comparison. It is so good.
You got an Aldi's up there in the north?
We do. Yeah, we got Aldi's up here.
They're all over.
Oh, okay. Thought
I got one
we were
right around the
privileged.
right around the corner for me.
And Aldi's.
Well, I
yeah.
agree. They have some good candy there at Aldi's.
Do you know Aldi's is the same thing as Trader Joe? Actually, it's the same company.
Oh, is it?
It's two
Okay,
brothers.
I've never been in Trader Joe, but
Yeah, two. Me neither. I've never even seen one, but I've heard of them. But it was two brothers from Germany. They had Aldi's Nord and Aldi's Süd, which is north and south. And when their entire philosophy was, instead of having a million different brands of peanut butter or whatever, you know, we'll have one brand. We'll go out and we'll find a really good high quality brand of peanut butter and make sure it's really good, because that's the only one you got, and then we'll make a deal with the manufacturer. We're going to buy so much of your peanut butter, make us a deal. And so buy pallets and pallets and pallets and distribute them to all their stores everywhere, which were lots of them. And that's how they give you everything so cheap. You know, they get these really high quality, number one thing, high quality, and they get it really cheap because they buy so much of one thing. They don't have 10 different peanut butters. They got one peanut butter. They've got everything, and everything's high quality and delicious and cheap. And yeah, I like all these. Anyway, they had a big disagreement, the two brothers. The one brother wanted to sell cigarettes in the stores, or actually wanted to continue selling cigarettes. It was back then, every place sold cigarettes. The other brother didn't want to continue selling cigarettes. And so they split up, but they still have the same agreement, where when we order stuff, we're going to get it in bulk because we're getting in, you know what I'm saying? They knew how to cooperate. They didn't agree on the cigarette thing, but they agreed on, let's have huge volumes and we'll work together on this. And one brother is Aldi's and the other brother is Trader Joe. And now they don't sell cigarettes at all, so they kind of split up for no reason.
Well, we have an Aldi's. We actually have two Trader Joe's here, and 3 or 4 Aldi's. And the Trader Joe's, one of them is really near a super highway, and we get a lot of traffic coming out of Canada down here over the bridge just to go to Trader Joe's here.
Really? I've never been to Trader Joe's. They're probably here in Michigan somewhere, I guess. Yeah. It's weird that you have Aldi's and Trader Joe's. I wasn't sure how that worked. And by the way, good night there, James. I know it's getting late and early in the morning for you. See you next time. Yeah, for some reason, they don't even seem like the same place. Like, I've never been to Trader Joe's, but I was surprised to hear that they were actually kind of the same company. We got a guy over here called Commodore coming up. I'm looking on the thing. 64 box.
My last name is the same as the brothers there, and which brings me to, you know what Aldi stands for?
Gosh, I do not.
It's Albrecht Discount. So it's their last name.
Huh.
Albrecht Discount.
Well, cool. Yeah, I did not know that. Interesting.
And something kind of unique is Aldi was taken by a different company in Austria. So their Aldis are called Hofers.
What's it again called?
Hofer.
Really? Okay. So I wonder if they're still like operating together as far as they can, they order
it's Aldi
everything
South.
in the same place.
It's Aldi South, and they have the same logo. It's just that they couldn't call it Aldi because it was already like trademark owned by another company that was there before they expanded into to Austria.
Okay, that's cool.
But yeah, it's pretty much exactly the same as in Germany.
We got Commodore 64 up in here in a Tomcat. I'm seeing him as a citation, but says he's in a Tomcat. That's cool. He zipped by me like I was sitting still.
That was my first computer, was a Commodore 64.
Really?
That's weird.
Yeah. That's probably why he named himself that.
Yeah, maybe so.
I gave all my Atari stuff to my brother.
Did you? I was just thinking,
Yeah.
Coach, you had the same first computer I did. Well, you probably had computers way before this one, but my first one was the Atari 800. Not the little console everyone's thinking, oh, the old Atari console. No, not that. The actual computer, the keyboard and everything. And yeah, the 800 had the nice actual clicky keyboard going on. It's beautiful.
That's what I had.
15K, 16K of memory, period. That's it. 16K of memory. You had
I
a
gave it to my
cassette
brother,
storage.
but he deals in old computer equipment. He's retired now, so
Who'd you send it to?
My brother.
Oh,
He
cool.
He sells it online.
Well, cool. Yeah, I mean, most of that stuff's probably in pretty good shape. You cleaned it up a little bit. There's a lot of people into that retro stuff for sure.
Well, I stopped using my Atari when I got my first PC.
Right. Yeah, unfortunately, I sold mine before I went to college.
I had
wish
a
I still had
286, a 386, and I had like a number of machines until I got to my last one right here, which I got in 2011 or whatever, and I just been getting it along. Now I got the one that you graciously, you ran graciously, and it's not working yet, but I'm going to get it to work, which is the Windows 11 big machine, which I'm still working on.
Right. Well, that's supposedly a decent machine when it works. When it works, it's pretty nice.
I found that the one of the problems was in the updating of the SSD drives by the ones that came out.
I remember stories coming out of some of the YouTubers there about a year ago where SSD drives had a major flaw in them. I don't know if they were able to fix them with firmware updates, or if that SSD is just straight up screwed now.
Well, what I'm going to have to try and do is I have a second SSD I just bought, so I can always just swap it out and start from scratch.
Well, they're super easy to pop in and out of there. I mean, that computer's got to have a whole bunch of SATA ports. Plug it in.
Well, what I would probably do is put in an SSD drive, new one, put the OS on it and everything else, stick another SSD, and then apply the bug fix to it, and then pop that out and put the last one back in again.
Right. The SSD in question, that's not your boot drive, is it?
Nope, it's my boot drive.
Good. Okay, because at least, like I said, when you get your computer up and running again, like you said, take that stick right out of there before you get it up and running. And then, like you said, try to pop it in and see if you can get it to work.
I can put two second SSD drives on that board, motherboard.
Yeah. Well, regular SSDs aren't that expensive still. I mean, the real expensive ones are the NVMe ones, the M.2. Those are the super high speed ones are like way expensive now. I was lucky I built my computer right before everything jumped through the roof.
That's the ones I got.
Yeah. You also have
M.2.
one. You also have one that's a regular SATA SSD.
I have a regular SATA drive. That's fine. That
yeah.
works.
Oh yeah, those are great. It's not a spin drive, but it's just a regular
It's
SSD.
it's the 6 terabyte guy.
Right. It's still a solid state drive. It's just not as fast as the M.2 ones. I remember that computer of yours had 2 M.2 slots.
Oh, when I get around to it, they say, I'll be there.
Well, what you got going on right now seems to work pretty good. Your daughter
Well,
going to ask for her laptop back someday soon, or what?
She says she doesn't need to because she doesn't use it anymore.
Oh, it kind of sucks flying around on that little screen.
I can put in the bigger screen because it's got a HDMI port on it, so I can.
That would
do
help.
too.
Yeah. You can still use your controllers and everything, so there's not much difference.
Yeah, those NVMe SSDs have really shot through the roof. I think I could probably sell mine used for 3 times as much as what I bought it for. I just bought one maybe a couple months before all this happened, a 4 terabyte.
Good timing. Oh, a 4 terabyte. Ooh, that's a doozy there. Big one.
I think I got it for around 300. I'd have to look to be sure. And at last I saw, they're going for over $1,000.
Yikes. Yeah, I've got myself a couple of 2 terabyte NVMe M.2s, high speed. And then at least 3 of the regular SSD, SATA style. Got a ton of storage, and half of it's super fast. And yeah, for 2 terabytes, it wasn't very expensive at all. Probably hovering around $100, I'm guessing.
I think the prices are gonna start trickling down here soon, or maybe already started a little bit.
Cheesy Poop says he's not flown his flight sim in 4 months. Jeez, well, you flying, buddy? You got to be flying.
I see Tailhook in the
Hey,
fighter.
Tailhook joined us. Yeah. What'd you say he's in? Okay. That 18
F-18.
Super Hornet. Well, good deal. Glad to see a few people popping in.
Mr. Newbie, did you see him crash?
I still don't see any name tags for you guys. Do you guys have a distance away that you can see on for me?
I'll show you 61.87 miles back.
Alright.
And I see you're just fine.
How far back am I, Bob?
You know, did you coast, you're showing 0.79. You're less than a mile back. I can see your airplane just fine, Coast. You're close. And Mr. Newbies is like 106 miles back.
Yeah, so funny story.
Love a good story.
I got up, got back, and I was heading in. My aircraft did a complete 180.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
What happened there?
So now, I really don't know. But I do notice that it's no longer following my pink line, so I'm trying to catch you guys back up in heading mode. So I had it trying to do the navigation, but I don't know what happened. So when I ran away, I'm guessing it just spinned around for whatever reason.
That is odd. You didn't run out of gas or something weird like that, did you?
Nope. Still flying, same flight level, everything, but...
You know, weird, it'll do something mysterious like that, but only when you're not watching.
Not watching, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what in the world could have possibly done that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but,
last week I did a full loop.
Oh, yeah,
Wow.
I remember that.
I'm about 45 behind Travis now. Like I see everybody else out the way in the distance.
All right, pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
We're still
I'm at
521 miles
270
out.
right now, so...
Got a little ways to go. We're not even halfway yet, so you got plenty of time to catch up.
Yeah. Yeah, Dad, I'm firing my co-pilot. He's sleeping on the job.
Yeah, what was he doing?
He fell asleep.
That's the co-pilot's job.
It's
Check
a
out the
sweet.
insides of his eyelids.
Oh man.
My co-pilot's got short red hair with a beard. He is out of rigs.
Oh no.
I did put a picture up there for you, Laser, showing you in my
Oh.
window and my co-pilot with his beard.
Oh, look at this guy. Right on. He's chilling. He's got the uniform on, or something. At least he looks professional. It's a hell of a cockpit there, huh? I like that. I haven't
Yeah.
flown that. I haven't flown that one year in years.
It looks like one of those outtakes from aircraft disasters.
It took me a little while to refamiliarize myself with things in here. There's a lot of buttons and switches to play Johnny Toggle with.
Yeah, and you don't want to, toggle the wrong one at the wrong time.
No, sir, you don't. You end up doing a loop-de-loop like I did last week.
Yeah, pretty cool. Commodore bringing that pretty bird up here. I don't think I have the aircraft that Commodore is actually in, but at least it's substituting for something somewhat close. It's giving me like a Cessna Citation, a business jet. So at least it's a small jet. It's not a military jet, but it's the right size. And
It's
That's
a
cool.
longitude, citation longitude.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
isn't
the
that a
fact
default?
that it's that close to what he's actually in, because he ain't in that. He's in a Tomcat, and yeah, that's a decent substitute. Right on.
Commodore? I'm showing him in a citation longitude.
Really? I got him in a Tomcat, but it says Citation
Okay.
Longitude.
Huh.
Maybe he was in a Tomcat earlier and it screwed the name tags up
Could
and
be.
mixed them
Could
together.
be.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's working just fine. Yeah, speaking of old computers, I think I went directly. I had that Atari 800 for so long, Coast. I went directly from that to an IBM PC Junior. You remember those? Those were a big deal when they first came out, and they were hard to get.
Remember, I was working with PDP 11s and all that sort of stuff professionally back in that day. And then when we got our first PCs, which were our first Windows PCs, I started working on those, and professionally for
Right.
years and years and years to do software on
Hell.
PCs.
I was still in high school when you were doing all that, buddy.
Yeah, I was a Windows programmer for X number of years.
I don't think I was breathing. I wasn't even thought about breathing.
There was a big problem. Big machines were available, but they were expensive. So there was something called not microcomputers, but mini computers. It was a big thing when I first started.
And they weren't that many, really.
No, they were expensive, but not like the big machines. I did write for some of the bigger machines, but that was just here and there.
The only programming I ever really did was some really light level machine programming with peeks and pokes and all that kind of stuff, and some basic. Of course, everybody knew basic back then. But that's one of the things I liked about that PC Junior. That was the first computer I ever had that had a disk drive. It had a floppy disk in there, and it was the hard floppies. The small hard floppies, not the big actual floppies.
I still have up in my collection of old stuff an 8-inch floppy I used from way back when.
Yeah, that would have been the drive that I could have got for my Atari, but I could never afford it. I had the old clunky cassette drive.
5 1/4.
I do kind of wish I had that PC Junior still. That'd be nice. That was nice. I mean, even for way back then, that was 1985. It had a wireless keyboard and a wireless mouse. It was dope.
I gave my my version of what is it? The simulator from the Atari era back then. Still works. Give it to my brother. He's got it now.
Really nice. Yeah, well, it sounds like at least you got somebody that will appreciate taking all that stuff if you don't need it, if you don't want it.
Well, he could sell it too. He's got
Mhm.
he's
Well,
got
that's-
an online store.
That's what he does for a living. That's jackpot.
Well, it's a hobby.
I watch a lot of cool stuff on YouTube with guys restoring stuff like that, doing chip repairs and, soldering things on the motherboard to make it work.
He does all that.
I mean, computers back then were pretty simple, really. I mean, they weren't componentized, so they weren't as easy to build as they are nowadays. Nowadays, you could just buy 6 parts and plug them all in. They can only go in one direction, and you got a computer. But back then, everything was, building it. You would literally have to solder stuff onto the motherboard there.
Yeah, they're called discrete components. That's the term they use.
Mhm. But they were simple when it really comes right down to it. You look at it and it's mind-boggling, but when you watch a guy repair it, it's like, oh, that was simple enough. No, I got to replace this diode because blah blah blah, and it's changing and it's not showing on the screen properly. Okay, it's like, well, gosh, that is totally simple. Makes sense what he's doing. I was surprised to see you can still order parts for those too. Guy needs like a DCM-4 memory module, and you can still get it, that exact one.
I wouldn't be surprised to see computers being redesigned, like the motherboards and stuff. The system, how it isn't really space efficient, and I know that not many people are complaining about that, but it's just not really designed efficiently. I mean, if you think about it, your graphics card and your computer is like horribly designed for airflow and
They're the
other things.
The biggest clunkiest part of the whole build, really.
The biggest thing that went wrong on all the old boards were the condenser chips. The
Every time I
round
built a
little round
computer,
needles.
the graphics card was the biggest pain in the ass. As far as if I ever had one where it didn't fit, it was always that. The damn graphics card's too big, But they're amazing
I like
nowadays, what they do.
I like to see them redesign the whole system, and I'm not sure if it would be beneficial or not. Maybe I shouldn't ask for these things, but
You can ask.
but it'd be kind of cool if they made things. I don't know how, but made things make a little bit more sense and better with airflow. And I know you can get specialty stuff that's more compact and stuff, yeah, but
Yeah, I've had a couple really nice small form factor graphics cards that work fine. Didn't have trouble with overheating or not. But you got to have some good airflow. You can't pack it into a solid cube. You got to have some kind of airflow going on.
yeah, laptops are pretty very compact and interesting. The biggest problem I have with those is that it doesn't take more than a year to get a lot of dust in the fans and everything to start clogging it up. So it's a requirement for me to be able to open it up and clean it if I ever get a new one. I have one that I use for traveling and stuff, but I always clean it
Right.
pretty much every year.
Okay, so what we say is we clean our systems religiously. We pray that it works.
That's one thing I'm lax on. I don't clean mine too often. I pretty much only vacuum it out and make it real nice inside when I have to work on it.
Yeah, I'm around once a year. I have a nice case now, and it's got these easy to remove filters and stuff and whatnot. So I clean those filters like this one I noticed, but probably every 6 months. And then I probably won't deep clean it more than a year. Just whenever I start noticing something.
Hey Bob, I noticed in the chat there seems to be a lot of people from your neck of the woods. Another guy that seems to be in the Tennessee area.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Say hello for me.
Hello, Cab. Bob says hey. Well, we have passed the halfway mark, and we are on our way on the downhill side of going to New Zealand. Spelled Z-E-A, not Z-E-E like I did in the flight plan. Bob and Travis were both kind enough to point out that I spelled it wrong in about 5 different places. You know, it's weird too. Like I said, I looked it up. I mean, I like before we go somewhere, I go on to Wikipedia and kind of check it out and just read some articles about stuff that we can look at and see and talk about. So I've seen it written down 100 times. Still spelled it wrong.
I didn't want somebody to come in and be like, haha, you're an idiot or something like that when it was just an honest, simple mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, this looks nice up here. I love having them jets, man. Jets always look nice. Little military escort going on.
Oh, my C-130 seems to be running fine. I have gotten like one of those little stutters a few times, but it's just only been like not an issue, just like a
Not like it was, huh? It might not even be the same thing.
yeah. It's just the PTSD. The sound is the same, and you know, like oh crap, and then it doesn't do it again. It's like okay. But I
You
wonder
still
what-
not seeing name tags?
Still not seeing name tags.
Did you check your
Did you
checkbox?
reinstall the whole sim?
I did, and I did double check about 30 minutes ago to see if the name tag labels were on, and they are on, so.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask you.
Well, maybe the one last simple, easy to check thing is change servers. Like right
That's
now
what I
we're in
was
the East
thinking
USA, change servers, and then come back to this one. Fingers crossed.
Yeah,
That's what I was
sometimes
thinking
that
of
works.
doing.
Yeah, that has worked for me before.
It has worked, yeah. And it's weird because we can see you just fine. Well, we can see your name tag. You haven't been close enough for me to see your airplane yet. Wingnut, did you are you still following the line?
Yeah, I am.
That's
Last
cool.
time
We're getting
I
closer and
used-
closer, so that's neat. You know what it was? Maybe your line didn't follow the curvature of the Earth as much as mine did.
Yeah,
Yours
it
was a
could
little
be.
more straight than mine, and now that we're getting closer in the air too.
Earlier, I switched the heading to get right in behind you, and then I locked back onto the line, and it stayed there for a while, and it drifted off finally again.
It's cool to see that gigantic ass airplane. Except from this perspective, it doesn't look like it's that big, but it's freaking big. It's way bigger than me. Gee, I can hand tailhook a cocktail here if he wants one.
Yeah, he's close. I'll hit heading and get behind you again and see if it'll follow.
I've had a number of people tell me that FA-18 is not an easy bird to fly. That they thought it was, you know, I suggested it as a good option for an airplane to keep up with this if you want to fly a jet. And at least 2 people have told me, ooh, that's a doozy. You gotta really kind of be on your toes with that one.
It's like they brought the West US server back up.
Did they?
It's on the
Huh.
list anyways.
Really? Well, okay, that's unexpected. I'm going to have to check into that, see what the deal is. Does it have a ping?
67, yeah.
Is that better
Me
than what?
anyway.
Is that better than what we're doing?
No, mine's like 37 or something on
Okay.
the east one.
That's odd. I didn't expect that. I bet you people are talking about it. I need to read some things. Hey, oh, we got Coast up here. Come check in. Alukeb says, I live in Peace now. Is there an actual place there where you guys live called Peace? Or is he just being poetic?
In Tennessee?
Yeah.
Talking about?
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with it. As far as Middle Tennessee, I'm not familiar with that name.
My buddy Kingsport Cal checking in. He's got some Leonard Skinner lyrics going on. Watch it fly high, free bird. Karma's checking in. Also, cheers. It's good to see you, Kingsport Cal, on a Wednesday. We're doing a long haul tonight. We're getting there. Going from Australia to New Zealand. Another 424 miles to go, and we're going to be landing on runway 4, we decided. Fuel check. I'm down to 23,000 pounds. Still doing good. I've got 4 tanks that are completely empty. I didn't even have anything in them when I took off. $420 miles out. Hell yeah, we're going to go see the Hobbits, Kingsport Cal. Hell yeah. Up north, and the northern island there, the New Zealand's kind of 2 little islands. Well, 1 big island, 1 smaller island. Up north, where they filmed Hobbiton for the Lord of the Rings, that still exists, and it's kind of a place you can go visit now. So it's there, it's in the game, and we went there flying helicopters at least once and checked it out. It's pretty cool. And, yeah, that's the plan. We're going to check it out in the Beechcraft Baron in 2 weeks. Next week we're going to fly around the southern island. But yeah, interesting enough, Hobbiton is actually in the game. That'd be a pretty cool place to visit in real life, just to check it out. If you're a fan of the movies and stuff, you know, you'd for sure recognize it. Yeah, the story on that is apparently when they made the Lord of the Rings movies and they first built that set, and it took a long time to make it because they had to wait for the flowers to grow and just everything to be perfect. And they finished the movies, and one of the agreements was with the guy that they leased the land from, was that when they were done, they're going to tear it all down and put everything back the way they found it. And that was the deal they signed. So they did. At the end of Lord of the Rings, they tore it all down, and that was the end of it, and it was over. But anyway, it comes around to making the Hobbit movies, and they needed it back. So they made a deal with the guys, like, well, you know, we'll go ahead and we'll rebuild it and, you know, tear it down when we're done. And this time the guy said, you know what, I'll make a deal with you, but you have to build it nice so it's like an actual place that people come and visit, and then it's mine when you're done. When you're done, it's just leave it up, and I'm going to have a little place here. And they agreed to that. So that's why there is an actual Hobbiton now in New Zealand. They just left the set. and they built it stronger than a normal movie set would be to be more permanent because that was the deal they made. But hey, it was a good idea. Guy should have thought of that the first time around.
Yeah, that's a very interesting story. I'm sure he had people come into his property.
Oh, all the time. All the time.
Yeah, where is it
And he was
at?
thinking, boy, if that stuff was still here, I could charge people, you know.
Yeah.
And it's apparently it's a pretty nice place, too. Heyo, Compass Coast. What's going on, my man? Got that beautiful Captain Sim C-130H Hercules. Just a reminder, when we get there, we will be landing on runway 4. It's 7,000 foot of asphalt. It has an interesting elevation, -4 feet. So it's technically underwater. It's like we're landing in frickin', what's that place? I want to say St. Louis, but it's way south. Where the Saints are from. New Orleans. It's like landing in New Orleans. They're all below sea level.
Yeah, my Sabres play tomorrow.
Do they? You know, there's been a lot of rumors lately since the NFL schedule is getting ready to be released. And I think me and you were playing first week. My Lions are playing Buffalo first week there. And when you say your Sabres are playing, that means that they're still in the playoffs and they are playing Boston?
Montreal Canadiens, they beat Boston.
Oh, you beat Boston. Oh, my man. Boy, did you just make my night. You beat Boston. Awesome. Okay, so this is like for the whole final championship then, right? This is all the ball of wax?
This is the one that whether they make it or break it into the finals.
Oh, okay. It's not even the finals yet. All right. Damn. Feels like a hockey playoff season just goes forever.
Then they get into the finals. Hockey game was against the Western Division teams. It's the East and West, East versus West.
See, Bob put a couple pictures in there.
Yeah, one of them, just so everybody knows, is a picture of you, Laser, sitting in the back of your cargo compartment, sipping your cocktail instead of up in the cockpit where you belong.
Oh, that's I am sitting in the back, aren't I? That's weird.
And your left troop door is wide open.
I noticed that. Maybe that's how I climbed
Getting
in.
the breeze.
It's open even from the inside. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that
Reminds
must
me
be
when
how
we
I
go out
climbed in there.
driving with my, you know how it goes between husband and wife and who opens the window, who closes it. You know that one.
I've got a way larger window of tolerance than most people. I'm always comfortable. Some people are like, within 4 degrees too hot or 4 degrees too cold. It's always one or the other to them.
I promise I'll learn how the navigation system works on this for next time.
Right on. Like I said, check out. I've got a number of videos on that old Captain Sim one, and there's not much to it. It sounds like the best thing you could do is work on your camera controls. Like right now, I've got my camera is basically like a player. I look around with one hat switch, and then my other hat switch.
That's what I got mine doing.
Yeah, my other hat switch is where I can move around. So I've got all my degrees of freedom right here, just like it's a guy. And that helps me a lot, because especially on that Hercules that you're in, that thing, all the autopilot controls are right on your right-hand arm, on the bottom, and there's no perfect camera angle to check them out. So if you just make it so you can move the camera wherever the hell you want, that solves a lot of problems. Because there's only like 4 buttons you need to worry about: the autopilot main, the altitude hold, the pitch control knob, and that's hard to miss. It's right there. It's huge. And probably the last thing would be your radio beam coupler, and that's right below everything. That's it. That'll do anything you need to do. That'll even give you an instrument landing if you do it right. Yeah, this guy in the back I got here now, it's just the dude in the yellow coat. He's hanging out by the microwave.
Yeah, the upgraded version of the Captain Sim is a J model, right?
Yeah, they've got a newer one than that. That they call it a gunship. They call it the AC 130, and it's not. It looks like it from the outside, but it's yeah. Um, why? Why do you ask? You're looking to get a different one? Because cockpit wise,
Which one-
they're identical. Yeah, cockpit wise, they're
you got two
all of them are
videos on
identical. Sorry.
you got two videos on the how to use the navigation.
Right.
One's
They're
on the J model, one's on the H model.
one's as good as the other when it comes to the Captain Sim. When the cockpit is absolutely identical. The only visual difference is the C-130H has a six-bladed prop, or I mean has a four-bladed prop, and the C-130J has a six-bladed prop. So how often are you going to notice that when you're just sitting there with your engines off?
I've been messing around with the fuel in the plane. Is that it you can dump the fuel, it all works, and it's pretty intuitive and easy to use.
We'll show
And
Captain here.
it does show the animation outside on the wingtips for the fuel, and individually you can turn one side off or one side on, and it will show the proper, fuel dumping on one side or the other on the wingtip.
Oh, that sounds interesting. As long as you don't go too far.
Yeah, I dumped a little bit off, and you can rebalance the tanks really easily. It's very intuitive.
You can shoot flares too. Have you tried that?
I've not, at least lately. I don't remember if I tried messing around with that.
I was just showing everybody the microwave I got in the back. Top that. Now they just need like bags of popcorn or something.
Just throw it in there for 10 minutes on the airplane. See who gets upset.
Gives new meaning to the word, to the
Burn
name
it.
Orville. Orville, remember him?
Who?
Orville.
Like Redenbacher? Oh, the
Orville
popcorn guy?
Orville Wright, you know?
Oh, okay. I thought you meant Orville Redenbacher with the popcorn. But Orville Wright? Yeah, we never met, but
But Coast might have.
I actually did see Orville Wright's original wind tunnel in the Air Force Museum where is it?
North Carolina, maybe?
No, it's in Ohio.
oh.
Dayton.
Have a good night, Karma. Thanks for stopping by, man.
The Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio.
I want to go to that. I've never been there.
Only one I've
I
really
uploaded-
spent some serious time in is the one in Pensacola, the Naval Air Museum.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I've been
it's
there many
very
times.
cool.
I haven't been there yet.
Really? I mean, you're right there. You live in Florida.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's still like 6 hours away.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
suppose that is true.
I used
But
to live in the
it's-
Panhandle. I was like 20-minute drive for me.
It's pretty cool.
There's like not a whole bunch on the way either to stop at and see.
Right outside of it, they have a gigantic albatross. And it looks just like a goose. It's a Grumman albatross instead of a Grumman goose. But it's like 3 times the size. It's absolutely massive.
Sorry, I just looked it up. It would take me 8 hours to drive
Oh, okay. All right, you're not right next to it.
there.
You're down close to Orlando, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm east on the east coast of Orlando.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, now that I think about it, Kingsport Cal, obviously from Tennessee. We had a Tennessee representing up in here tonight.
Well, makes me feel popular and proud.
Mess up your landing. The whole town's gonna know.
Oh boy. Well, I've been practicing with this C-17. I think I've got it down now.
Yeah, it's a big bird. We got a big runway.
I offloaded like 4,000 pounds of fuel just to see what kind of performance gains I would get, and I pretty much got nothing.
Really?
I thought, man, surely 4,000 pounds would.
Sure. And you can spare even more than that, but if it doesn't make a difference.
Don't call me
Yeah.
Shirley. Don't call me Shirley.
A hospital, what is it? Yeah, your name tag's getting a little bigger back there, Travis. I can tell you're catching up.
It's good.
Still
Trying. I wish I could see
barely
you guys.
see
I
it.
still can't.
55 miles out. Your stuttering issues haven't came back yet, Travis?
Nope.
Good.
I think that problem is hopefully solved anyway.
Good deal.
Also, they came out with a new, I don't know if you guys use NVIDIA drivers or not, but they just came out with another one yesterday, I think
Oh,
it was.
did they? I haven't
Yep.
updated.
Yep.
I need to do that.
I updated within the last couple days. Maybe it was that one. It was for Forza, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right. I think it was yesterday when it came out, because that's when I put it on there. I thought it said for the May the 12th.
Yeah, I generally try to avoid doing those fast things. I don't know why I did, but maybe just to see if it would help with some of these issues. But yeah, NVIDIA hasn't been too promising as of late of doing solid driver updates, but I think they finally fixed their issues and maybe are on track again.
Yeah, I try not to update anything like that when, it's the day of a stream or whatever. If I've got a day or two to monkey with it, I'll update everything. So I noticed in the patch notes for this Dirty 30 Hercules that we're flying, it mentioned, I don't know if it was this past update or the one right before that, it mentioned get condensation trails now when you're flying high enough contrails. And I seen it for the first time just a couple days ago, and I was testing this flight to see what altitude would kind of serve us best for ground speeds and whatnot. I went all the way up to 30,000, and yeah, had real solid, cool-looking condensation trails. It was neat.
I'm actually getting some right now.
Huh, nice.
Has
At
anybody
25,000?
ever had those condensation trails where they have periodic little burps in the trail? You ever see that?
Where it breaks?
It just shoots out. It goes along. Something goes off the side of the trail and then just does it periodically all the way along the trail.
Nope, I haven't noticed that. It's been a while since I've been in the bird you're flying, though.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm familiar.
Saw it in the back, not the backyard, but over at somebody else's place.
Right. Well, I know contrails sometimes aren't like perfectly solid. They'll move around depending, I mean, it only happens from the condensation when, they'll fly through a pocket where the air is just different, the temperature is different, and it'll stop doing it for a second or two. All right, 327 miles out. I'm getting there. Actually making pretty good time. I counted on a 3-hour stream, and it's been about 2 hours so far.
My My calculations say I'm an hour and 2 minutes out, and you guys are a little bit in front of me, so that's on the dot pretty much.
Nice. Yeah, this thing is real susceptible to, in higher altitudes, that indicated airspeed drops right off. But your ground speed goes up, and that's all, it all makes sense. As far as the airplane is concerned, the air is so thin up here, it doesn't feel like it's going faster than 220 knots. But it's because the air is nice and thin. The ground is going by incredibly fast.
Less particles.
Yeah. It's like pretty much at that point, the only thing you need to worry about is you are moving over 300 knots. You know what I mean? It might only say 220, but you are going. So the only thing you need to worry about is G-forces. Like, you don't want to turn too sharp, you'll rip your wings off, because you are going that fast. The kinetic energy is still as fast as if you were going fast. You know what I mean? So the stresses on the aircraft are as much as, the gravity and the inertia would be lower to the ground. But the airplane itself feels like it's only going 220 knots. A nice casual 220 knots, barely flying, barely touching the air.
If you really want something to read that puts you to sleep or makes you want to blow your brain out, there's a book called Aerodynamics for Naval Aviators.
Sounds like light reading.
Delta used to require it for their pilots to, like, they would test them on the book before hiring them. Like, for the longest time, until maybe just before COVID. They're the only airline that was doing that, as far as I understand.
Well, I suppose nothing like that could hurt to learn. Gentlemen, I'll be right back. I gotta grab a new cocktail.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't hurt.
Yep, I'm gonna do the same. I'll be right back here, boys. Give me something to sweat my whistle.
And we're back. Mr. Newbie, did you ever get your airplane back up and running? Back on track?
Yeah, I'm still trucking. I'm about 51 behind Travis.
Okay, right on.
Yeah. The nav is not working. I'm not able to follow the yellow line, the pink line, but going slow in heading.
Heading hold works. Well, it's better than
Yeah.
having to be on the stick for 3 hours straight.
Yeah. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, that is a mystery.
I don't know if it's linked to my VR for some reason.
Are you in VR now?
I was in VR, and I stepped away. I exited VR, and then That's when it happened.
Oh, right. Somehow
I
when
came back in.
your
Yeah,
VR paused, it did something.
yeah,
Huh.
that's what I'm thinking.
That's a weird. What it did was turn you around.
Yeah.
At least it didn't drop you out of the
Funny.
sky. You didn't find yourself upside down in the ocean.
No. I'm still able to see the distance though. It showed me 392, but just not tracking on the navigation.
Weird.
Yep.
I'm guessing Coast has that bird trimmed out real nicely. Going nice and stable and clearly on the stick.
Oh, you can walk down to the back of the plane and mess with the back hydraulic door.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, the Dirty 30 we're in. That's pretty impressive with all the extra shit.
Yeah, I went back there one time. I opened the ramp and door and was shooting off flares for laser. Did you remember seeing that when I
I
was
saw
doing
the
that before?
pictures you posted, and they look
You
great.
guys save them up for July 4th.
I wish you could have like a Humvee back here or troops or something. Caterers. I've got a microwave. They can cook me a gourmet meal. It's a big bird.
Also, close up all the seats back here and
Oh, can you?
put them out. Yep.
Oh.
If you just click on the
Neat.
seats, I think it puts them up.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't notice you could do that. Yeah, cool. It doesn't sound like it in the game, but in real life, being in that back seat, man, that is a loud ride. You are going to be hearing it.
Cannot exit aircraft. Aircraft must be stopped to exit. Oh shoot.
I noticed right above it, there's a whole bunch of like warnings and shit.
Yeah.
Big list of
Don't do
stuff.
like Longhorn. Try to turn that yellow handle there on the crew door.
Oh, the big old handle that says "Do not open in flight." They were right. They were right. Don't touch that handle. All right, 275 out. Looking good. Beautiful day going on here. Started early morning. The sun was just coming up over the horizon. Got to be approaching 10 o'clock a.m.
I'd assume they'd be later now because they're
I'm not doing real time.
gotcha.
I changed it. When we took off, I wanted it to be dark, just barely dark with the sun coming up. Here we are now.
I missed that.
Although right now over there it's probably around noon, I'm guessing. At least that's what it'd be in a place in Australia we're flying around. I don't know how many time zones Australia has. Plus New Zealand might be in its own, so to the east quite a bit. I'm guessing around noon.
Sounds close enough. They have 3 time zones.
Australia has 3 time zones. All right. Just learned something. One of the things I just heard recently is within the last day or two, they released the international schedule for the NFL. They haven't released the full schedule yet, but they did release the days and the teams that are going to be playing international games, going to like Madrid, Rio de Janeiro. They're also going to Melbourne, I believe. So, oddly enough, one of the teams that has to go to Melbourne is San Francisco. And that is a long flight, man. Long flight. They might even go the other direction. They might even go west instead of east, you know, across the entire United States and then through Europe, and then they might just go west towards Hawaii,
I would think that would make sense, yeah.
towards Japan, you know, because that's so far. And oddly enough, San Francisco has 2 international games, as does the Jaguars. Jacksonville there. They've got 2 international games. The Lions, my Lions have 1, and I'm cool with that. I mean, I like those international games. They're fun to watch. And cool, oddly enough and awesomely enough, my Lions are playing in Germany. So let's go. They're playing in Munich. And yeah, I'm all about that. We'll wake up and watch that football
Good old
game in
Mun-
Europe.
Good old Munchen.
Yeah, yeah.
About when
I've
is that
definitely been
supposed to
there.
be?
München. We have at least one player who I know is a German national. Our wide receiver, our star wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown, the interesting cat. His father was Mr. Universe for a while, bodybuilder guys. And a lot of people don't realize that a lot of these bodybuilder guys, they're not huge. They're kind of, you know, they're not as tall as they look. They're, you know, it's better for their proportions when they look small. You know what I'm saying? If they're being a bodybuilder, it's just the shorter guys, you know, or the more average height guys, it looks better on them. You know what I'm saying? Rather than a giant, tall monster. And so that's why they are often the contest winners. Anyway, his father was somebody St. Brown, Mr. Universe, a couple years in a row. And anyway, so he has a kid, Amon-Ra St. Brown. They were living in Germany at the time. So Amon-Ra St. Brown and his brother, also has a weird name, they grew up in Germany. They were born in Germany and grew up there. And then went to the United States, and Amon-Ra St. Brown became a star wide receiver for the best team on the planet, the Lions. So yeah, I'm sure he's going to enjoy going.
Excuse me.
Oh, did you catch that? I was trying to be subtle. But yeah, it'd be neat for him to go back to his old stomping grounds in Germany there.
By the way, Laser, when did you start being subtle?
Start? I don't know, a couple minutes ago. Yeah, we got to play the Patriots. That'd be nice. And you know what's cool? The Lions, our logo looks like an old-fashioned German crest of arms, you know, just the lion from the side. It looks like something you'd see on someone's shield or a tapestry behind the king as he's watching the best team on earth play football. Well, at least if Longhorn was here, I could talk shit to him about his freaking Cardinals.
Anybody can do that. That's easy.
How did the Lions get their lion emblem logo?
I don't know. It's changed a lot over the years. I don't know. I mean, it was probably pretty obvious once they changed the name to the Lions, you know, come up with something like that. It's a, you know, obvious logo. But they changed it over the years, and it looks better and better all the time.
Yeah, but like,
Detroit
Interestingly enough,
had the Lions and Tigers and Bears. Oh my!
Oh my, indeed. The Lions used to be called the Portsmouth Spartans, who were one of the original football teams back in the day. There was only like 8 of them. And we used to be based out of like Portsmouth, Ohio. And we were the Portsmouth Spartans. And then some dude in Detroit bought them and said, "You're the Lions now." And here we are.
No lying?
I
I
ain't
think he
lying.
could have just started another team.
Well, I mean, why
Maybe
not
the
though? I
players
mean,
were
you might as
assets.
well, you might as well. He had the opportunity to buy a team that was already franchised by the NFL, and it already has TV contracts and has star players, and it's in the league and it's doing good. And back then we were awesome. We were hard to beat, man. There was before there was even a Super Bowl, and so yeah, he bought them, and so like I said, he already had an established franchise ready to go. So that was the way to do it. And then they invented the Super Bowl, and somehow we became allergic to it and never figured out how to get there. But before the Super Bowl was around, we were hot.
That's what they all say.
Well, it's true. Like back in the 1950s. Back when there was only 8 teams in the entire league, we were crushing people.
We were in the top 10.
Every year.
Yeah.
What are you looking at here? 232? 232. Getting there. I'm going to begin my descent when we're about 70 out. It's going to take a while to descend this entire way. We're up pretty high. So about 70, I'm going to bring it down. The elevation of the airport is under sea level, so I'm going to only bring it down to maybe 2,000, maybe 2,500. That's going to be a minute.
I was gonna make a YouTube video guide of the top 50 states to visit in the United States.
You can't leave nobody out.
Maybe
You're
you go
leaving
to
out
Ve-
Puerto
go
Rico
to-
and Guam,
Venezuela.
Venezuela.
They're
Somewhere
not
near
a
Kentucky.
territory, at least not yet.
But they are American citizens.
Not Venezuela.
Oh, not Venezuela, yeah.
Yeah, the other one, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Most people don't really know about Guam. Some people do
Right.
know about Puerto Rico. I think
Is
there's
there a
couple
third one I'm not thinking of?
The
Samoa?
U.S. Virgin Islands, maybe, but
American Samoa? That's where Better Call Saul
Yeah,
went to college.
right.
He got his law degree in American Samoa. Maybe that's Guam. I don't know.
yeah, I think there's a little bit more, but not much.
I like flying into Guam. I've got a little flight plan saved where I leave Saipan, cross over Tinian, the airfield from World War II. You can still see the strip down below, and then
Really?
into Guam Anderson Air Force Base. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's got an ILS approach and then cliffs as you're coming in for that approach. So that's a fun one to fly on.
Yeah, that does sound cool. I like it when they have special scenery for stuff like that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was watching history one time and I was thinking, Tinian, let me see if that's even in the sim, and sure enough it is. And you can land there. It's kind of rough, but you can land there.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I love
Yeah,
that.
my Uncle Jack was one of the few people that survived Iwo Jima.
Oof. Way to go, Unc. Uncle was a tough guy, huh?
Now a dead guy, but then
Well,
Times catches up to everybody.
he was well known for having survived the Iwo Jima thing, and he had a lot. He didn't say much about it.
well, yeah, imagine. There was a lot of that going on back then where, yeah, you just, you moved on. You know, nobody
Don't wanna
wanted to talk about it.
now. That's-
So who around here is flying in actual real-time weather?
Yes.
Yeah? Got anything special going on?
Nope.
Nope.
Alright. Just seems to me like every time I fly real-time weather, it's either like a beautiful day out and there's no clouds at all, or it's totally overcast and you can't see shit. There's no nice in-between like this is, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of my default setting, and I can always turn it off easily now. It's not like how it used to be, so.
I love the whole idea of it though. You go somewhere in real time, in real weather, be surrounded by real aircraft traffic at the airport. It's just neat. Very immersive.
Yes, we definitely come quite a ways, and hopefully it keeps the momentum forward. I'd like to see them actually refine some of this AI high quality city stuff. I haven't really looked at the last stuff that they pushed out, but some
The
of
photogrammetry?
yeah, some of the older stuff was a little not ideal, especially when they launched Paris. I think they actually went back and fixed that not too long after.
There's
that
a
they
lot of
launched
weird artifacts going on. Things like the mesh would be all screwed up. There'd be like chunks of the mesh kind of popping out of the ground.
Yeah, and I like to see them clean up some of the trees too in these places, and you know, like instead of this 3D tree that looks like it's, I don't know, being spawned out of the ground by a wizard, I'd like to see them replace that with a more eye-friendly and frame-friendly tree that's appropriate for the region.
Did anybody notice, if you watched the trailer for the new Australia update, that literally the week after we passed the Great Barrier Reef, they added the Great Barrier Reef? Remember, the whole time we were flying down it too, it's like, well, you can't really see much, but this is where it is, so blah, 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 you know. But they've added that, literally, I mean, specifically added, and I saw pictures of it. It looked pretty good.
Yeah, that's cool. Now you can do before and after.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you never know. The week after next, when we're flying back from New Zealand, that's going to be another Wednesday extra flight. When we're flying back from New Zealand to Australia, we're going to be real close to the Great Barrier Reef. You know, we might as well almost just fly there and land at an airport nearby there. And then continue our flight from the south, where we left off down there near Tasmania. I'd like to, on our next set of Australia flights, kind of visit the interior a little more. There's some kind of neat stuff to see. You know, weird things that are like out in the middle of nowhere, like observatories and stuff like that.
Yeah, there is a base there, and I checked it out. It's an air base, and they actually do have military vehicles and aircraft in it.
Cool. By default?
Yep.
Wow. All right. Neat. They added a whole bunch of stuff. This Australia update was pretty massive. Every city that we've flown to so far has been affected by that update.
So I pretty much turned everything upside down.
What do you mean?
Gave the update to Australia that turned everything upside down.
Since
giving
they're
you a rush
southern
to the head.
hemisphere? Okay, that's a good one. No, that's good. You've been a little bit light on the puns tonight, so.
Yeah, do the umbrellas go the opposite direction?
Yeah, I haven't been too jumpy.
$185 out. Gonna be there shortly. Probably within the half hour. Reminder, runway 4 is a whopping 7,200 feet of asphalt, a negative 4 feet elevation.
Whoa.
Yeah, the heading for that runway is 039er. I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Hey, by the way, Travis is the only one in the Dirty 30 right now, but did you notice that 2 of the nuts by your windshield, right? Check it. You see the nuts going around your windshield, the nuts and bolts?
Yeah.
2 of them actually are workable knobs. One of them is your course select, and the other one is your heading select.
I did not know that.
I
Oh,
freaking
wow.
accidentally, right? So, you know, how weird is that? They must have put those because people were complaining that when I look down here to the right, I can't see, you know, I'm down here monkeying with my course select knob. I can't see what effect it's having. So they put one right next to your display on those nuts there. And I don't know if they've even mentioned that, and it's like you got to find it for yourself. But that does kind of
Yeah.
help you enter your course heading because you can see it now because your display
That's
is right
really
next
cool,
to it.
actually.
Isn't that weird?
I should have put them in that little panel just below where your autopilot and your nav lights and stuff are. They should have put it on that little panel down there.
Right. Well, but then it wouldn't be realistic. And not that this is, but they're not adding knobs to the, you know, they just, if you hover over these two,
I think
these
some
out
of
of the
these
way,
J models did have it on that panel down there.
they did. But it makes sense
Yes,
that they
I
would.
think so.
Having it off to the right like that seemed weird to me the whole time. Because they've
That's not
got,
a good
like, I
place
mean,
to have your nuts.
even if you made it so like that big reference select knob, how you do your indicated airspeed, you know, put it on there somewhere. Just like, you know, so I can switch over to that and then input my course heading and then put it back. I didn't realize that some of them actually had it right there by the autopilot control because that's handy and exactly where it should be in the first place.
Yeah. I think they literally made this on purpose to be not intuitive. Yeah, if somebody ever steals our plane, they're not going to know what to do with it.
Yeah, it's just odd that these 2 nuts up here you can use to change your course heading and your.
I think
They
that's
for sure
hilariously
did that on
brilliant.
purpose.
Yeah. They probably just made it like that. Somebody was like, you know, I'm tired of messing with this and stuff. I'm just going to throw these in here, and
Yeah.
it doesn't change anything.
Right,
you
it just
know?
makes
It's
it
just kinda
easier.
like
They might have done it for the testers, you know, being okay. We'll put this in. We'll take it out someday. They never did. But that's kind of new. That must be from the last update or two. I'd never noticed that before. But that's definitely a thing, and it's handy.
it's just.
Weird, right?
I thought you were gonna tell me something else.
Like what?
I don't know what.
You
but...
see these nuts down here?
Well, maybe not that, but I just caught that. But I thought you were gonna say something like I don't know, not
Right.
that.
Certainly didn't expect me to say that's how you can change your course heading.
Yeah, exactly. That's a cool little gimmick Easter egg thing. That's useful.
Yeah, it's a shame we didn't see Longhorn tonight because he's probably not going to be here this weekend. He said he's going camping. I think he even said anniversary style camping.
Yeah, go out.
Yeah.
You know what I like to see them add to the simulator is the B-29. I don't know if the B-29's really been in the flight sim.
Not even back in the day.
B-36 in the marketplace. I don't think it's a very well detailed one, but there is a B-36, and now they've added the B-17.
Yeah, I like the B-17 too.
Yeah, I have that one. It's fun to fly.
But if they did a really high fidelity version of the B-29, I think I would jump on that.
Yep.
And right now we have two of them flying in the real world, so if there's a time to do it, now's the time.
Yep, I've seen them both.
I haven't seen Doc, but I've been in Fifi.
You know where they found Doc, don't you?
I'm not familiar with the story.
There was there's a bombing range. I forget where it is again. It's someplace in Nevada, and they have had a bunch of them all in the desert out there, and Doc was out there. So they decided to try and recover one B-29 from a number of B-29 that were on that bombing range.
Did
and
they get it?
Picked up that one.
Cool.
They restored it in someplace in Nevada.
Pretty neat. There's not
that's
many of them left.
Yeah, those are a piece of history that I think we should keep around. And one thing, Sun and Fun this year is there's always at least one, if not two or three, B-17s, and geez, there was none.
Really?
There was a.
Oof, it's hard to keep those guys in the sky, man.
Here's a little story. I was standing out talking to my neighbor one day, and this little small plane comes flying back low. Next thing I see is a B-24 popping by Diamond Lil, and it followed by a B-29, which was Fifi.
I feel like I've heard of Fifi.
Yeah, she's a popular one. She was the only one until they restored Doc. At least for a good long while. I'm not sure the dates and stuff, but for a while.
Airplane Heaven put out a good B-25. It flies pretty nicely. Handles easy.
Yeah, B-29 is kind of interesting because they started adding some electronic, gunner equipment and stuff where you don't have to go to these gun positions and stuff like the B-17. But then I'm not sure exactly how that'll work. But anyways, they also had a pressurized cabin, and they had a pressure tube where like the back of the plane was pressurized, and you'd have to go through a big air duct essentially and crawl through it to get to the back of the plane, and they would either pressurize or not pressurize these, that back section based on if there was anybody back there or not. And it was kind of very interesting where the B-17 is kind of like you can, not easily, but you can more or less walk anywhere, but it wasn't really pressurized either.
Yeah, I've been in a B-17, so I know exactly what it's like going from front to back in one. Know it real well.
Yeah, tight squeeze.
But the B-29, the gunners sat in chairs behind the pilots facing backwards, watching screens.
Yeah.
They were radar guided, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not familiar in how that whole system worked. I was always a little curious.
They're radar guided guns. They come into a radar screen, and then they had a terminal point where they had electro-optics to be able to handle it. It was really, really new.
Yeah. Yeah, for the 1940s technologies, that's like basically more or less computerized, gunner positions. That's almost unheard of, except for that.
Well, the B-29 its biggest protection was how high it could fly. It could outfly most of the aircraft in its era that it could fly higher than them, so they couldn't get up there. it had these. The real trick to B-29 was the engines on it. The engines were supercharged, special supercharging.
Big breakthrough.
Yes, and not super reliable though. They burned a lot of them up. I think they had a lot of teething issues in the beginning.
Bob, I could walk right over off my tail and hop on your airplane.
Got a little close, didn't I?
Nah, not too close.
I've gotten quite a few B-29 photos, but I can't get to them right now with my hands occupied with this stuff.
Right. Yeah, we need to get you figured out. Like I said, you get your camera moving around, then you can use any of the systems real easy. Like, and the autopilot on that thing is simple. Four different things. That's it. 4 stuff. And that will get you all set up for instrument landings, GLS, everything.
Yeah, unfortunately I wasn't able to see Fifi fly, but she came to Lakeland to Sun and Fun, basically, but not Sun and Fun during the time of Sun and Fun, and just the same location, anyways, and that's the only time I've known it to be there, at least of my recollection or whatever. But I could probably pull up some pictures here.
Isn't it the Flight Heritage Museum up in the New England someplace?
I am not sure.
Guys, we're just over 100 out. Within the next 10 minutes, we're going to begin our descent.
But I took pictures of Fifi on takeoff and on landing. I got to the end of the runway and took pictures of her taking off and landing.
Well, it's good to have them pictures because it don't sound like you're going to see that every day anymore.
Well, it wasn't for an air show. They were just flying through.
Oh, really?
So since I live near the airport, I saw them come in. So I just got in my car and took my camera and shot pictures.
Yeah, it was basically right around my birthday when it came through, and oh gosh, 10 years ago.
Ooh, cool. This is the cockpit of what again, Travis?
B-29.
B-29. Dope. Cool. We got the little flap chart right there clipped on. Pretty neat. What's that old warbird they've got in the game by default? The old, basically a Goonie bird. DC-3, DC-10?
They have a B-36, which is similar to that. It's just got the propellers are on the back side of the wing.
No, it's the one I'm talking is not actually very similar to that. But that's the one. We've flown it a couple times. No, I can't. I think of a DC-3, but maybe that's not it.
Well, the DC-3 is a Goonie bird, or C-47, same thing.
I was thinking about making a flight for those here before too long also. I like that. I like them old warbirds. Look at that. Travis, hitting on Fifi.
That's the little crawl tube that you go down to get to the back of the plane on the next one.
Gosh, those things are smaller than they kind of seem, don't they? I mean, it's obviously huge. I mean, look at those engines. Those engines are as big as a car.
Yeah, look at the cowl flaps. They're open. Notice that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, real nice. Cool those engines. Cool that oil down.
Yeah, and the hot Florida sun when you're taxiing around and stuff. Gotta get a lot of airflow through there.
They got
Oh,
the
this that little.
B-52 in,
Wow, they got bombs in there and everything. Look at that. So this that crawl space to get up to the front there.
The one above the bombs, yeah. Now you can see the tube on the top of the bomb photo.
Groovy. Ride one of those down like Slim Pickens in that movie.
oh yeah.
They used to be
Remember that?
before they bombed before they dropped the atomic bomb. They used them to drop conventional bombs from high altitude, and the Japanese didn't have any fighters that could get up there.
Right. Yeah, back in that day, the fighters had a lot of difficulty getting altitude.
Well, they were coming in at over 30,000.
Yeah, that's crazy high. That's why they need all that oxygen. Yeah, pretty cool, man. Thanks for that. Alrighty, about 88 out. I'm going to begin making my preparations to descend down to 2,000. Also, it's not too crazy of an idea to jog out to the right just a little bit. We don't have to go much, but that will line us up for runway 4. Yeah, 25,000. I'm going to begin my descent in a minute or two. But I am going to jog over to the right just a few degrees, maybe 0.85.
Yeah, I don't know who was the engineers at Boeing making that plane, but they sure were ahead of their time. I think that
Oh yeah,
design is just
the
so cool. And the
early
cockpit and everything.
aircraft engineering and stuff, especially during wartime, was just off the hook. Those guys were really on the ball. 80 out.
They even made a Millennium Falcon out of it.
Yeah, I am going to begin my descent. I'm not going to be in a huge hurry to get down to 2,500, but we got a long ways to go. So, dropping her down. Not up, but down.
How do you change the
145.
how do you change the vertical speed rate?
With just to the left of your autopilot main, there's the big pitch control knob. The center part of it, you can rock it up or down with your mouse wheel. Push it forward to go down.
Yeah, every time I do that, it disengages the vertical speed mode.
Right. I don't even use the vertical speed mode because it doesn't seem to
Oh, okay.
actually. It doesn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but that's the way to do it. And then I just control the little. There's a white box on your altitude indicator that shows you your vertical speed.
Yeah.
I kind of fine tune it so it's nothing too crazy because it likes to like get crazy in a hurry if you're not paying attention.
All right.
You're making all your passengers sick and stuff. Try to keep it just right around 2,000, just under 2,000. That's actually in real life, that would be a bit much too. But we're not in real life. We got to bring it down.
It seems like that's what it's supposed to control that, but it doesn't do it properly.
There
So I don't know.
might be another step involved somewhere, but it's hard to find information on this bird. Best information on this bird you can find out there is the videos I've made. It's all been trial and error, you know. There's not a lot of documentation about it. I just keep monkeying with stuff. Old Johnny Toggle over here. And eventually I'll find something.
Well, thank you for that.
Alright. On our way down. On our way to line up at the runway. At the moment I'm only, I don't know, 20 degrees off. Not off by much.
You know, degrees, it was hitting 94 today.
Ooh. Starting to get warm down there for you.
Oh yeah, summer is here.
We
It
hit
hit 97.
We hit a big bad 42 today.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm ready for 90 degrees. I don't want 90, but give me 70. Give me 70. I'm ready for some
Yeah.
good weather.
Yeah, be careful what you ask for. You might be in for a hot summer.
Yeah, it might be. It's been cold ass winter and a long spring, so honestly by now it's usually quite a bit more warm than, I mean, we might hit 60, you know. We've had at least one 60-degree day around here, but it's been a while. You know, usually by now we'd hit 60 and that's a nice comfortable temperature.
Yeah.
But 42, that's still cold as hell, man. Anytime I got to wear a scarf to leave the house, it's too cold.
Well, how about this? I'll get a big box, put some air in there and close it up. I'll send it to you, and you do the same thing and send it to me.
Well, send me 20 degrees. I'll send yours and I'll take it. We'll kind of meet somewhere. We're 59 out, gentlemen. I am descending through 18,000. Still not lined up at runway 4, but we're getting there.
If we do that enough times, it should balance the temperature out a little bit.
You would think. Alright, pilots, let's not fuck this up. We've just flown almost 3 hours over water, doing nothing but shooting the shit, solving all the world's problems. Now it's time to pay attention. Or something.
Yes.
I might need to increase my rate of descent here, but we're doing okay so far. But we're losing distance in a hurry. We're going pretty fast still. Of course, the lower we go, the slower that 220 knots is going to be. That's a good deal. See how my popcorn guy's doing? That's his job. There's not much to do back here in tactical, but he makes sure there's always popcorn.
I'm just entertained by the oak horn.
Yeah, some of this stuff back here you can actually monkey with. Oh yeah, you can monkey with the radar and the intercom. It's dope. I mean, they really went all out on this airplane. This is pretty good stuff. And Bob, no, I'm not going to start flipping switches. I'm not going to be Johnny Toggle up in here. Hey, what's this do?
I was just waiting to see.
It's got all, I mean, everything back here works. I mean, everything. Every single That is cool as shit. Love it.
Oh, look on the roof. It says, "Pull lever. Caution. Stand clear when opening."
Especially if you're flying at the time. Yeah, very well made. I love it. It's got some weirdness to it, which, you know, it's a pretty complicated bird. So, it's odd. It's pretty dope. And, let's not forget it just became full release like 2 months ago. It's, you know, a couple more patches and it'll be, like, ready to go. My ground speed's already down to 275. And dropping. Looking good. I don't know if Vulcan Nerd, JMB, our buddy, is still watching, but hey, Vulcan, good to see you, man. And Alucab, yeah, I agree, that's pretty neat. This is a very impressive airplane from Blackbird Simulations. I absolutely love the Hercules as it is. That's my favorite airplane ever. And finally, somebody comes out with one that's just awesome. No shade to Captain Sim because they've been the C-130 supplier for a decade. You know, they did the one for FSX and kept going. Actually, I think it was even for FS9. So they've been doing the Hercules for a long time. And like the only company doing the Hercules. It's really nice to see Blackbird Simulations take it serious and just go crazy on a modern version of the Hercules. The Captain Sim one is like the old-fashioned with the steam gauges. Doesn't have the computer consoles. But yeah, this Blackbird Dirty 30 they call it. I love it. I knew one day this would be my favorite aircraft when it was in the testing phase. And sure enough, it's awesome.
It'd be cool if they did an older version of 2, but I'm not.
It would.
I'm
I
not
like the older
asking for
version.
it.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
love.
needing it.
If I had my choice, this would have dials in here instead of a big computer console. You know, honestly, this level of detail, but the old version, I would love it. I would love that a lot. Descending through 10,000. Also only about 36 out, 38 out, something like that. 35 out. Looking good. Lando. It is almost time to turn final.
Is it finally time?
It's quite. We're not 100% lined up yet. That would be this arrow here points to where the airport is. And this arrow here is the direction of our runway. So we want to get the two lined up perfectly. As long as our heading is to the right of that arrow, it'll keep going left. Get it? Coming in, looking good. Got a nice approach here. Look at all that New Zealand goodness. I can smell the orcs from here. A lot of mountains around here, a lot of beautiful places. It's a nice trip. Next week is going to be fun switching over to that quite slower twin engine Baron. We'll be flying that around. It'd be a lot easier to actually take in the sights.
Know what it sounds like when you put a bunch of orcs together?
I think so.
An orchestra.
I knew it. I knew it. Good one, man. Keep them coming.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That orc to work.
Nice. See, now you got everybody's juices flowing.
Power man, that was bad.
That's the whole idea, remember?
I have to descend a little because I'm still too Uruk high. Okay. Trying. Uruk high. Who's a true Tolkien fan around here? Come on.
You're talking to the right guys.
See, now we're talking. My man, Travis, coming in hot.
Sorry, I won't make it a hobbit.
Oh, God. I think we unleashed a monster.
Dang, I was fine all in the beginning, and then you started something.
Well, that's how it happens.
It's like a disease that you can't get rid of.
As long as nobody gets hurt. I think my descent is going to work out just about fine. We're 24 out. I'm descending through 5,500. I can lose another 3,000 feet by the time we get there. Just to be sure, I'm going to drop her down another notch. It's almost like tempting fate to monkey with that knob, though. For some reason, that knob gets real weird on me. I'm going to try to give it one notch up, and let's see what happens. Meaning one notch down. Okay, I gave it 3. Looks like we're good. Our vertical speed went down just a little. Perfect. All right, we're good. But sometimes you touch that knob. That's how Bob did like a backflip last week. Actually, I think that happened right after takeoff, didn't it? As soon as you got off the ground, went straight up.
Not long after. I don't know. My autopilot just it quit working totally after that. You wouldn't even engage anymore.
That's crazy. After a big whoop-de-doo, big backflip. It's a good thing it took you up really high before it did that.
Yeah, I recovered. I was not very often you see a C-130 do a whole loop.
Cub said this game is amazing, but he can't fly to St. Louis, Missouri. His game freezes. Well, that's too bad. Although it's got some good settings for graphics. You can, turn your settings way down, make it like super, It still looks pretty good, I mean, compared to the stuff I used to flying years ago, even with the graphics all setting turned down, it still looks pretty good. Yeah, he says he can fly around New York, but not St. Louis. That is weird. It is odd. I remember the only problem we had in St. Louis when we got to the Arch, that was one of the first times that I remember seeing that little bug where we all flew under the St. Louis Arch, and Longhorn didn't make it because there was like a solid wall for him. It was invisible, but it was like he hit a wall. Remember that? And I've seen that effect since. I've seen it under bridges and whatnot, where most of us make it through, but one or two of us have like a wall there. It's weird. 14 out, holding 2,500.
So weird, I still can't see your name tags.
I actually turned slightly past the destination here. I'll have to get that line to go back. Alright, it's time to start slowing down now. Definitely. I'm going to drop down to 180. Start flapping. The runway in sight.
Yep. I see it. I see you off my left wing.
Right on, buddy. Alrighty. Slowing 150. Gear down. Alright, trying to bring her in by hand. About 7 miles out. Remember, when we get a little closer, don't forget your auto throttle. Alright, New Zealand. We made it. How you doing?
What? We make it? Wait, I don't know.
Smells fresher than the old Zealand.
Do they drink coffee around here? Coffee sounds good. Gonna have to pause for just a second. That'll give you a second to get ahead of me a little bit more, Bob. There we go.
Okay, I'm doing like 180.
Oh, right on. You're, yeah, way quicker than me. Auto
Laws are
throttle
just
off.
for animals.
Alright, coming in. Yeah, I got
Yeah,
that weird
sorry if-
stick issue. I don't know if it's a hardware or software or driver issue, but once in a while, I've mentioned it before, where the only way to fix it is to give my stick an entire revolution a couple times, go all the way around, and it kind of resets itself. And I can't do that unless I pause, you know what I mean? Don't know, like I said, hardware or driver or what it is, but it just happened. Easy to fix, but I hate having to pause. Right behind you, Coast. If you can land a little bit long, that'd be great. Although, got a pretty nice approach going on here.
Yeah, sorry if I go through somebody, I still can't see anybody.
Really? Oh, that's a shame. I was hoping switching servers would fix that. I'm going to land a little long, too. Yep, got you coming in right behind. You caught right up.
Yeah, a little bit at the end. On the descent.
Yeah, I guess I'm going to park right next to Wingnut's airplane over there. Show just how small my airplane is. The C-17 is massive.
have to change all the throttle settings on here again.
Only because you reinstalled?
Yeah. I was wondering why I was already going into reverse thrust and I didn't pull the throttles all the way back yet.
Did any of that stuff you do fix your issue with the you were having trouble with
the
your
brakes.
foot pedals, your brakes and stuff?
Yeah, my
It
brakes
did?
work right now, so that's good.
Oh well, all right, dope, success. Well, there you go, guys and girls. Wow, we made it. On the ground and
traded
everything, and it was just over 3 hours.
I traded all those fixes for not being able to see my friends.
Well, we can see you, so we know you're in the same universe.
There's another there's another area for the name tags too. I forget now what it was.
And this is a real common multiplayer thing, and one of those two that tends to fix itself often. Like next week, everything worked perfect.
I can't see any airplanes here either.
Really?
I don't
You're
know
right,
where
you're
you guys
biased.
are at.
If you kind of park to the left of that the taxiway you just went down, it'd be like wingtip to wingtip of me. So you mean pull a UE, and then put your left wingtip on the taxiway, and taxi towards us.
I hear what you're saying, but yeah,
You're going
I
farther
don't think
away.
it's gonna work.
You're over there by the tower, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay. We're over here by the runway in the grass behind you.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, that taxiway you used to get there, follow that, and stay to the right of it.
There's in your settings under interface. There's a one where you put a check mark for show name tags.
Yeah, but I don't see you guys either of your airplanes.
Oh, you don't even see the planes. Oh, that's a different story there.
Yeah, like I said, I wouldn't be 100% surprised if next week all of a sudden it works fine. It seems to do that.
Turn this up. Turn it back on.
Did I go long enough for you there, Laser?
They did. Well, it went about as long as I thought it would. Technically, it was under 3 hours because we didn't leave until 10 after. Right now, it's only 8 after. So yeah, we made good time. Captain FS 2024 is joining us. Looks like he's also in that sweet F-16, F-18. Oh, it says he's actually in the F-35, is what this tag says, but it also says F-18. That's, once again, if he's actually in the F-35, that's a fantastic substitute. At least it looks like a jet. And I can tell he's in a substitute because he's missing his front gear. Yeah, Elucab's looking for answers for why St. Louis trashes his machine so bad. And I couldn't tell you. I wish I could. It's a mystery. It's a mystery. It's quite a complicated game, and all kinds of weird stuff like that happens. Got Mr. Newbie. Looks like he might be on final approach up here. How far are you away, Mister? Oh, I see now. You're about 3 out. Right on. Hey, welcome back.
On final.
Back in
Let's
action.
distract him and see if he how he does here.
Yeah, hopefully the gremlin that caused him to turn around doesn't have nothing to do with landing gear.
My first suggestion with the St. Louis thing is if you have put some add-ons into the sim, just pull everything out for now out of the community folder and try it one time. And then you can put it right back in if nothing changes.
Yeah, especially it seems like New York would cause more problems than St. Louis, although they're both pretty dense. It is odd that
Yeah.
you can fly around New York just fine.
An easy guess of maybe some add-on scenery that was added in, but that's just dependent
Well,
on
also,
what the setup is.
I mean, if you really had to, it might help things out if you downloaded that area right onto your computer, onto your hard drive, instead of let it streaming. Just go ahead and download it. It might take a while, but maybe that'll make it easier to fly around.
You can't really do that anymore. You can
No?
cache it, but
Really? I thought you could do that.
you
That's too
can't
bad.
use areas anymore. It was
Oh,
kind
geez,
of
I
always
was.
broken in the past.
Oh, was it? Because I was
On
hoping to do that
2020.
when I'm camping. You know what I mean? Because I'll just wherever the hell we're going to be flying around at when I'm camping, which is going to happen soon. I'm going to go camping a lot this summer, but I was going to download the area before I went camping so it wouldn't use all my bandwidth.
Well,
I
you have
think
100
you can
gigs
do
now.
airplanes. You can't do the airport anymore. I don't think.
Really?
But
I didn't
you
realize
can do
they
the
removed
aircraft.
that. I mean, I
Yeah, you
guess
can do
it's
the
good that they removed it if it was bugged, but I never had problems with it.
I'm gonna back out of here and
Welcome to New Zealand, Mr. Newbie.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm gonna try to come back in after restarting my sim to see if you
If
guys
that
are here.
doesn't, it just might. You never know. Multiplayer is extra weird in this game. Super finicky.
Started out with 45% of fuel, and now I got 22% left.
Let's see how much I got. Ooh, not much. I started out with like 36,000 pounds. I don't know what percentage that is. I had a bunch of tanks that were empty, so I wasn't carrying near capacity. But I started with 36,000 pounds, and right now I'm at 17,000. Used a good chunk. Used a good chunk of fuel. Sounds like you did too, Coast. But once again, you could have probably carried much more than that.
Oh yeah, I don't want to carry much more than half.
Right. It's, this bird's heavy enough as it is. Well, this thing has external tanks and everything. I mean, yours does too, actually. I'm not sure I can remove mine. Well, everybody, I'm kind of anxious to wait and see if we can see Travis, but I'm probably going to shut the stream down here before too long. After all, it's been 3 hours. People have been kind enough to hang out this long. Did have a good night, though, and it was a good flight. I enjoyed that. Everything worked smooth. And we shot the shit about a bunch of cool topics, solved half the world's problems, and shaved off the hard edges on some of the rest of them. I like how pretty much this, the bird I'm in, the Dirty 30, this paint job, is kind of the same thing that you guys are in. That Captain Sim one is like a Air Force, regular old Air Force one. That's kind of what I got going on here too. And yet, big difference here. Okay, that's what it is. You guys have 4 props. We got 6. 6 blades. They got 4. And that's the same difference in just if you go from the Captain Sim C-130H to the C-130J. That is absolutely the only difference. The C-130J has 6 props, or 6 blades on the prop. C-130H only has 4. The cockpit, 100% identical. It's the same thing. So in case you're wondering about the different versions of the Captain Sim aircraft, they are, for all intents and purposes, they've got at least 3 or 4 different versions you can buy. For all intents and purposes, they're kind of the same thing. except for the number of blades on the prop. The cockpit, you couldn't even tell the difference. Absolutely every button and switch and knob is in exactly the same place, and the performance is exactly the same. No difference. In case you're wondering. I had somebody mention in the comments a couple weeks ago that they just bought that C-130, the Captain Sim, the AC-130 gunship, which also, that's covered by what I just said. It's exactly the same thing as the rest of them. They're all the same, just different number of props. That one does have like a gun sticking out of the side, and it looks a little different on the outside. On the inside, it's 100% the same thing. I am curious though, if somebody was flying those, that's the only one that I don't own, because after a while I caught on to the fact that, you know what, these are all the same thing. I'm not going to buy every damn version they release. It's all the same thing with
I have that
slight
one.
cosmetic changes, you know. I mean, I am interested to see if somebody flew one of those, would I see it? I know I wouldn't see it with the gun hanging out the side, but I might see it as a
Yeah.
Captain Sim Hercules.
I have it, and I tried to fly it, and you said it had 2 vehicles that was tagging along with me.
Oh, that's
Remember that?
that's the one that happened with, because I remember that.
Yeah.
It looked like a Hercules, but it looked like, yeah, your power supply was out, and you had a truck right next to you. And that was when
Yeah.
you were
Let me,
flying.
Let me go out and back in. I'll bring that and see if it still shows you that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Should see you really good. You're right here.
I thought I might have known what was causing it, and nope.
No? I saw your name tag for a second.
Yeah, I backed out because I wasn't seeing you guys, and then I was thinking the multiplayer was on live instead of all players.
Right. That
I
is
think-
something, too, that they tend to change that when there's an update. They'll make that the default, and it screws a bunch of people up.
But it was set properly. I just double checked.
Huh. That's a hard one to describe to people, what it is, because it's like, it makes no sense. Go into flight conditions. Really? I just can't see you. No, go into flight conditions.
Yeah.
And there's only one place to do it. You can't do it in the menu. You have to do it on the map screen. It's weird.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking is like, oh, you know what? That might have gotten changed either by accident by me or something else. It doesn't matter, but it was set properly. I did.
I still
click
think it's a
it
good
back
sign
and
that
forth.
we can see you. So, I mean, you're here. You're broadcasting. You're transmitting. You're in the right lobby. I can see you perfectly now. Whoop. I did a second ago anyway. You must have said go to the runway. And you did. There you are again. Yeah,
Yep.
everything looks good on this end.
I don't see you guys.
You don't see us. We should be just to the left of you, on the left side of the runway.
Yeah,
For
kind of
you,
near the
your
tower-ish or in the grass somewhere. I don't see any planes here.
If you pulled off to the left side of the runway, you know, the side that has the tower on it, we're right there.
Yeah.
I mean, you would probably
Yeah.
park on top of Bob, or I mean on top
Is he on the east server or what?
He is. You do you not see him? He's just to the right of you. On the runway, on runway 22. Right on the spawn spot.
You can go ahead and do your stream stuff. If somebody doesn't mind staying here for like 5 minutes, I'm gonna restart my computer and come straight
I
back
don't.
in.
I do
Alright.
not see him.
Yeah, I'll stick around. But anyway, that is it's a good time to go ahead and shut the stream down. We've been going for a long time tonight, and it was a wonderful time. We had great discussions. And I hope to see everybody back here Friday for the main show. We are flying the Twin Baron to a great place called Queenstown. It's awesome. There's mountains and lakes and all kinds of cool points of interest. Some of them are animated. They've got this cool race car track. I'm not kidding. An animated race car track on the top of a mountain, and you can sit there and watch the cars race each other. And we're going to see that next week. So actually, we're going to see that Friday. So take care, everybody. Have a good rest of the week. We will see you Friday for Friday Night Flights. Bye now.